Yeah, it's good. We're good. We're alive. That's the wake up call, bro. I'd be like, let's get in the mode. Let's get back in the mode and shit. All right, man. Here we go. We are back again. Another episode of No Cooldown. We are alive and well. Feeling real lucky on this episode 7. Another week has come. Another week has passed for the gaming world, for the entertainment world, and we are here to talk about a lot of it. I am here with my lovely co-host, WenEazy, the Bodega Baron himself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Kirby enthusiast. You know,
yo, for sure.
he about to start breaking into people's houses, dropping off Kirby copies. Like, yo, bro, play this, nigga.
Bro,
how you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm excited that Arceus dropped because that means it's one Nintendo release away from Kirby. And I'm like, oh, cool, Arceus is out, which means we're closer to playing Kirby, yo. We're right there.
The only man on the timeline said, yo, man, Arceus, that's great. That means you can move that out the way and talk about the real hero, Kirby, baby. Come on.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
I'm dead, man. How
are you, Tripp? How was your day?
It's been a time, man. It's been a time, bro. Like, I tell you what. Some days you're just like, yo, I really just don't want to do shit. But you look forward to these little pick-me-ups, man. And this is always a pick-me-up. I know, you know, for most of the week this week for me, I was like, man, I just want to lock in, do some stuff behind the scenes, not really show my face too much. But I was like, for this, nah, we got to hold on. We got to, you know, pop out for this. Cause I always love, you know, sitting down, talking about games and just chopping it up with you, dog. So we going to get into it, man. And boy, do we have some topics this week, man? I thought it was going to be a really lighter week considering Xbox and all that other shit happened, you know, the previous week, and, you know, all this stuff was going haywire. But there's some good stuff this week, man. But before we get into all the major stuff, let's warm up a little bit. Got a couple stories I thought were, you know, funny, interesting, intriguing to the eye. And first off, we want to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to take off my do-rag, but if, you know what I'm saying, or my cap, I'm not going to take it off, but, you know, put it on your heart. I got to raise a salute for the dead. Ubisoft finally halted the hype, y'all. They finally halted the hype. So they made the announcement this week to finally end the development cycle and server tenure of Hyperscape. The close quarters battle royale game had a good pop off in the beginning, but over time and tumultuous updates, the hype eventually escaped from the game's life cycle. How we feeling? It's gone, man. It's gone.
Hyperscape, I tweeted this. Hyperscape feels like a fever dream because it was just like, yo, I like when they said that they're stopping the game. I was like, yo, that game feels like it was like 10 years ago. That was like last summer,
bro. It was literally last summer. That was like one of the first like clips I ever put up, and it actually got some views. I was like, yo, what? Like,
that game was like. I mean, there's a multitude of reasons why I think the game failed. I don't even want to say failed because it was like a cool concept, but like it didn't. Obviously, they're not continuing it for their reasons, but it was fun. But it was also like I couldn't even imagine balancing that game. That game was insane. I even playing the game, I was just like, this game is ridiculous. The movement was out of this world. It's like, what if you took Apex and turned it all the way up to like 10? Like it's just. It was nuts. It was nuts. Not surprised that it's getting shut down. It's also like one of the many battle royales that just didn't make the cut. I guess like there's just so many that when Ubisoft announced, "Hey, we're gonna make a battle royale," it was like you guys are kind of late to this party. Like it's just. And then, you know what's funny is when I was playing Blood Hunt, I also felt like I was like, "Yo, this kind of feels like Hyperscape if you weren't on crack." Like this feels like a regular game. Whereas like Hyperscape, if you weren't on Adderall, like you can't do it. You can't do it. It was insane,
bro. I'm not gonna lie. When this first dropped and we got into it and stuff, like I actually was having a lot of fun. There was real promise in there though. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that certain level of pace, not for the gunplay, but just for the movement. Especially, you know, the last circle was pretty interesting just because, like, you know, whoever has the crown, that could be really like stupid though in implementation. Like that could be really exploited. But it was fun for the time. It was pretty fun in concept. Like just running around, you got to chase them down. You know what I'm saying? The whole team is there doing your thing. I like that concept to a certain point because, you know, at least when you couldn't expose metas and stuff like that, like remember the big ass cannon, like you charge up and just fire them big ass energy balls at people. Yeah, that was annoying. The machine gun was just everybody's roll with that. Gun? Yeah, the minigun, everybody rolled with that. I was like, well, hell, what we gonna do now? And then I forgot there was a couple of skills that I forgot were like so overpowered. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was.
It was like lift.
Yeah,
I don't know
lift or
if
slams.
slam
I think
was.
I use slam. I use slam a good amount, but
Yeah,
I don't know if
that was a
everybody
good
use
one.
slam. Yeah,
I
that
think like the one
one.
that made you jump up high was really
Yeah.
good. The armor one was cheesy at first because you could get away
Oh
with like
yeah,
being
yeah.
like completely invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Facts.
I I liked a lot. There's a lot of good things about the game. Honestly, I like the crown system a lot because it makes people not play like when remember when we played Blood Hunt. When you're playing Blood Hunt at the last circle, everybody's just camping ring. Like everybody's just
Facts.
moving in slowly, trying to wait for the high ground kind of thing. And some people like that tacticalness, kind of like an Apex, like AGL. Like you watch
Yeah.
Apex tournaments, it's
Yeah.
literally just who can camp in the ring and who can get the best positioning kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for some it's kind of corny, but for others like me, I was like, okay, the crown thing is cool because now it gives you incentive to rush in there. There's three
Yep.
teams left, but like if you're too slow to get in there, the one of the teams can grab the crown and just defend it for just enough time to win the game. So it's like it
Facts.
was cool concepts. Um, I personally just felt like it wasn't the right time for that game. Like I just feel like we
Mm-hmm.
just didn't need it. Apex was still like growing. Fortnite was still very relevant. There just wasn't, I feel like, a need for the game, especially when you don't have as many crazy cosmetics as a Fortnite, or you can't compete with like Apex's like charm. Like it was just like Apex is a game where you have like all these colorful characters with all these cool different abilities kind of thing. Whereas like this game was like, here is basic person that you create. We have no cosmetics for them, so they all kind
Mm-hmm.
of like bland. It's just it was cool. It was a fun little time, but I'm not surprised that
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah. I think it was one specific update. I'm pretty sure it was going really well. You know what I'm saying? Like they were riding off, the whole initial like creator tournament. I think it was a Twitch Rivals or
Yeah,
something like that.
Twitch Rivals was
And everybody
nuts.
was
Yeah.
hyped off that stuff. I seen everybody playing it. I was playing. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And there was one specific like update in that, in that run where like it changed the time to kill, changed a lot of different stuff around. And everybody was like, yeah, nah, we're off this, bro. We're off this. And they
Yeah.
never recovered since that. Like it's tough, bro. It's tough, but you know, Ubisoft been running into trouble with that kind of stuff. But hey, listen, it's not the last time we gonna mention these motherfuckers today. But I will say for the for the solid 25 seconds that y'all on the limelight, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Hyperscape, you did all right. You did all right. Rest easy now. Press F in the chat, please. Press F in the chat for him.
We will remember you for at least 2 years.
Facts. And then after a certain point, I don't even know
After
what the
that,
fuck.
maybe
You gonna get lost in the shuffle unless you get brought back through some NFT shit we gonna talk about later. It's gonna be a wrap for y'all, man. But yeah, that was that, man. Rip the Hyperscape. That's crazy. Next story, which I saw was like, damn, can we finally get another GTA now? But according to Forbes, the US government has apparently gained enough evidence to assert that GTA Online servers are used as a recruitment ground for drug running for the cartel. Now, I was like, what the hell? So basically they got a lot of these stuff that happens again, like drug activity or whatever. And apparently from a custom stop in November, they found that a driver that was running drugs was incentivized to move contraband after they met their contact on GTA Online, potentially making up to $2,000 per trip. So they was meeting up in the RP streets. They was meeting up in these servers online, talking, real tough, doing heists and missions. And then they got on a call in real life and was like, yo, you want to do some heists and missions? What in the hell? Go ahead and talk to me, bro. What's going on? What's going on?
It's crazy, man. Like I just don't know. I can't imagine being in a GTA lobby. Well, first of all, I can't imagine being in a GTA lobby and having it on all chat. That sounds like
On
insane
facts.
to begin with. But then like being
Facts.
recruited into like, hey, you want to do this in real life? I can't imagine people being like, yeah, yeah, I would love to do this mission where I'm getting shot at all the time in real life. Like that's what I want.
And he was like, yo, remember, you know, he went like to Leicester, you know what I'm saying? And he like gave us some stuff to do a mission for. You want to do that like Saturday? You want to do that Saturday, like in real life? Like I can only
No.
imagine the conversations and the advertising you have to pull to get people in. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever they are, getting them into these, these schemes where they're running 18 wheelers full of drugs and stuff through the border to run drugs. These niggas wildin', bro. Hey yo, listen. If this is all the grounds that we have to shut down GTA Online and GTA 5, Do it. Where's GTA 6? We need it now. I'm fully behind this so long as we shut down GTA 5 servers and get GTA 6 and whatever Rockstar project off the ground and into stores as soon as possible. If this is what it takes, I'm with it. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you. We've been waiting for GTA for a while now, to the point where, like, damn, even like it's crazy. I can't even like begin to fathom how Rockstar is even
Dog.
gonna handle this. Like, how do you ban the cartel? Do you even know the cartel's IP addresses?
Facts. They don't. They just guessing at this point, bruh. So my solution, you just shut it all down, man. Scorch the earth. There's nothing left, man. For the United States government, man, we got to make sure our country's safe. Come on, man. Come on. It's a war on drugs, right?
It's just a war on drugs.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot, man. But yeah, that was interesting. And then finally, before we get into the main topics for today, we got a new trailer and another look at the Pokemon-esque monster tamer / gunsmith experience known as PalWorld. It shows off a lot of new, actually really stunning environments, a lot of gunplay, farming on what looks to be a home base where you got a bunch of slave Palmon doing your bidding for you, making a whole settlement, and a lot of subplots of like infiltrating weapons manufacturers and abusing Palmon labor and breaking people out of facilities. It looks real interesting. I don't even know what the hell's going on. This whole like past 2 weeks, people have been obsessed with like shooting Pokemon and Pokemon-like people. So it's just been a real hot topic. But this new PalWorld trailer dropped. So what you think about it, bro?
I thought the first one was a joke. I was like, "There's no way that this is the thing."
Dog.
And then I saw the second one. I was like, "Wow, this is like a refined version of the first one. Like, this is actually happening." It's such a weird spot because like you have people who are like really excited to shoot Pokemon, don't really know why. And then
Same
you have people
motherfuckers
who
that
are
want to
like,
poach elephants in the wild and
you
stuff.
know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, I was like, I kind of don't get it. And then there's like people who are like really against this. Like, why the fuck are y'all shooting? Like, it's weird because the game looks kind of fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it does look interesting. But the reason I like it is because of how like the first trailer showed so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, I was really excited because you could take one of these, like, I keep calling them Pokemon, but that's not what they're called. You take one of these pals and fuse them with another pal and create a whole different like species. Which I was like, oh, that's cool things that we won't ever see in Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like everything else was just, I was just like, this is a lot, and I don't even know how much it's gonna cost, things like that. I just like, it's like, yo, they're using these pals to put them in factories, and it's like, yeah, but then we're using them to fight wars, so I don't even know who's really in the right here. Like, what is going on? It's just so much.
It is honestly like the most trippy shit I've ever seen. And still the wildest thing was that this dude picked up one of the chicken pals and just was shooting eggs. He just shooting eggs at niggas in the trailer. I was like,
yeah.
And that's the wildest thing I saw. And there was a giant, like Raichu looking nigga, and he had a machine gun. And he was just mowing people down. This man just like all out with it, bro. I was like, nah, the weirdest thing is probably still the eggs. I'm sorry. It's still there.
Yeah.
There's just so much. And it seems like it actually has a story of like whatever team that's involved in this, this world or whatever, like a Team Rocket equivalent. They got gun factories and they putting people through it. They putting all these little pals to work for 14 hours a day in gun shops, putting clips together and whatnot. This is, it's all over the place. This is one of the most wild things I've seen in a minute. But do I still want to play it? I want to try it. I'm not gonna lie. Not just to shoot, not to shoot Pokemon or pals. All right, I don't want to shoot pals, but you know what I'm saying. I want to at least see what the hell it's all about. It looks really interesting though. It still has the basis of Pokemon monster tamer play that we've come to know from the looks of it. But I'll give it this though. It looks fantastic. It does look beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of the environments that I saw were actually really dope. So I'm like, it's looking better than Arceus right now. Aesthetically wise. Aesthetically. Don't shoot me aesthetically. All right. Aesthetically, I'm just saying.
It's definitely interesting. I want to see what it's like. I'm interested in the game, and we'll see what comes from this, because it just seems like there's just so much in there that is interesting outside of the fact that you're shooting Pokemon or the monsters or whatever's. Like, it's like they have, like, you can put them to work in your farms and things like that. Like, there's so much crafting and things like that I really enjoy from games, and I'm just like, all right, but why? Where did the guns, like, who's like, what if we did all of this and let's put some guns in it? Like, it's OD. It's a little much, my opinion.
Listen, I don't know where the hell it came from, bro. But hey, listen, that's one type that is always super effective. That's all I know, baby. The hollow tips never miss. They got
facts.
They got a quick claw on them, all them bitches. It's crazy. But yeah, that's crazy, man. PalWorld. I'm still interested, so we're gonna see what happens with that.
Absolutely.
All right, man. That was the warm up, man. We all loose now. We good to go. Let's get into the major stories of this week, starting off with a banger. So this past week and a couple of days ago, actually, we had the reveal trailer for the anticipated season 12 of Apex Legends, featuring the latest legend to be added into the fray, Mad Maggie. The reveal trailer shows off a change of scenery for Olympus as it's teleported and, it's falling apart. Buildings are dropping everywhere, and shows Maggie's introduction into the games and a bit about her power set as well. From what I saw from the trailer, it seemed to look like a grapple that kind of sets things on fire to stun opponents and kind of block areas off and things like that. And the other, I guess part of her skill set was like a Black Ops 4-esque like destruction ball. I don't know if you remember I forgot the name of it, but it was like a death ball, literally. And
yeah, it was like kind of like dogs, but they weren't dogs.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Literally, I forgot what their name, like Raptors or something like that. But yeah, like literally, it just it
level
fuses ass. Yeah, probably that. It level fuses ass in the middle of the trailer. I'm like, okay, is that something? Is that also there? So we got that in the trailer, and in addition to that, we also got word that a new LTM called Control is coming, and that means 9v9 combat in a domination style game mode with infinite spawns, an actual like team based mode with extended teams and like actual points in a limited area. So we get an actual like games outside of BR. That's this, and I'm like, I'll talk about that. But general thoughts, man, with all the Defiant stuff coming into the new season dropping on February 8th.
Very excited for the new character. She seems similar to Fuse in his kit, but also different enough to be I'm excited. I'm just really excited for her as a character, and she's the reason that I am like currently trying to like catch up on lore, because like I don't really understand everything, but like things are starting to get spicy and I'm really trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
LTM, really excited about that actually. Because there's so many times where there's so many people who play Apex like right now, and like on the timeline, all my friends play Apex, and it sucks that every time I see people online and it's like, oh, they got 2 other people online with them, well, we can't play. So now it's like I can take my 3, your 3, and like bring in 3 more friends, and we can all play in the same game mode together, be in a Discord chopping it up. I think that's gonna be a blast.
I fully agree. I'll kind of start backwards and just do the inverse use. Yeah. So with this LTM mode, finally, I wanted some team-based play, like extended teams, like a 6v6, a team deathmatch, a domination, a hard point, some type of mode like this where we have a defined set of an area. We have infinite spawns and we just play like straight, matches. I'm trying to see like how that pans out. And I think it's going to pan out very, very well. And I think this has a really strong chance to be like either a really continuing fixture or even a permanent game mode that's in Apex. I know they're just still working and stuff like that. They do a lot of, QA testing with the LTMs. But I think the response to this is going to be really, really strong. And I think that might warrant more modes like this in the future where it's, we're getting outside of the BR range and we're talking about, more, again, the arena style, the team death matches, the dominations, the hard points, the capture the flags and whatnot, all that type of stuff. I think that will be a really, really dope introduction, and I can't wait. I personally cannot wait for that shit. That's great. As for Mad Maggie, yeah, man, I agree. I was fully interested in like the lore part of it because I'm like, damn, there's like a lot of moving parts to this. Like Octane's father was there, and he's like running the games now and shit. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I need to catch up massively. And like I heard it. I heard it in Spanish. Like he was like, "Yo, Pop, what you doing, dog?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Like the fuck. I had to double take. I'm like, "What the fuck? Me? What he doing? What you who?"
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was a whole little bit of a shock. Interested to see how the voice lines and stuff and how that links with Fuse, because again, from what I hear, Fuse dubbed her and she also took his arm. History. So. They got a lot of history and stuff. So I would like to see how that pans out in the games and see what kind of like cutscenes and voice lines that you get from all that stuff. So it's really interesting from a lore standpoint and from just a player standpoint. I'm actually really interested to see what her kit is actually like in the game. The grapple thing with fire, if you can like place that anywhere and that's like an automatic fire trap, that could be very advantageous for a lot of like especially camping motherfuckers. Like we on your ass if that's a thing. If that's like not like an actual like launcher, you can like it's pretty deployable. Like I think that would be a really, really big that'd be a big change to the games that we play right now. And I think it'd be a positive one, man. Interested to see what her ult is and her passive. Again, I think the ball is involved. I don't know exactly how it's gonna show up. She had like she had a shield, and she had like a whip type thing that was metal. I don't know if that plays into the kit as well. I should need to focus. Sorry, audio version. My shit is wild. But yeah, I think that's just really interesting. Wondering what exactly is going to be the kit layout, but I think she'll be a decent legend though. I think she'll be a really, really decent legend, and I'm excited, bro. All the map changes that are coming as well. Olympus is back, and everybody's Olympus, yeah. It was hating on it a while ago, but that such is the world. That's what happens. But I really think that it's going to be a good season though. I think it's going to be a good season. I'm kind of I'm kind of like in between two minds about why they didn't add a new gun, but I feel like they always do that where it's like, okay, we'll give you a gun, season with the gun, season without a gun, season with the gun, season without a gun, or some form or fashion of that where there's space in it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Season 12, I might actually be an Apex whore again. I know I've been straying the path, but it might be time to recommit.
For sure. I am super excited. I'm not super like I forgot that they always add a gun, but I'm not super like pressed about it just because if they're adding a whole new mode, which means probably new maps, they probably have a lot on their plate. Not to mention that, but like every season the servers like shit the bed. So I honestly would have been fine with them adding the mode in after the season launch, like a little bit after, maybe during the split, or even just because like I feel like they just have too much on their plate. And then like let's say Maggie's maybe she like what happens if she's busted and the servers go down and the mode is fucked up? Like we're gonna be in a
triple
shitty
whammy.
space. Yeah, we're gonna be in a horrible Apex spot for a while because they can only work on so many things at once.
They're gonna be asking to nerf Maggie to hell like Seer, and that boy is in a grave right now. Exactly. So, and depending on how the rollout goes, I think it'll come out pretty decently. I'm hoping it doesn't fuck with too much. Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't fuck with too much in the long run, but we'll see. We'll see about it. Still very, very excited for all that is coming for Apex Legends. All right, man. Let's switch gears, man. So in your GPU is absolutely fucked news. We had a quick kind of a drop and a post on the Chinese social media site Bilibili, and confirmation from the Western Crytek team on Twitter. Crysis 4 is officially alive and it's now in development. Of course, you guys already know the visually stunning FPS game is in early development now. They dropped a little bit of a teaser, with some visuals and things like that. Society Fawn, the little Crysis helmet and stuff. It's on the way. It's coming. Again, we're really, really far out from this. A lot of reports were assuming, maybe a 2024 release. We'll get more info, or we'll probably get, a tangible, solid state on this. But yeah, what are we thinking, man? Crysis 4, it's on the way.
I'm thinking I can't run it. I haven't even seen the specs. I know I can't run it. I can't even. I try to get into Crysis with the remaster, and like I can't even run the remaster for some reason. It always crashes on me,
bro.
I like single player first person shooters. I feel like it's kind of like a dying breed, just because I feel like first person shooters have now been synonymous with multiplayer. So I'm excited to see what the game is like. I played a little bit of 3, didn't really get a chance to sink my claws into it because I was playing it on I think it came out in PS3 era time, and I was just like, it just wasn't running that well for my PS3, and I was also just like, I never played the first 2, so when I finally got a PC, I tried to run the first one. It also didn't work, but it wasn't like it destroyed my GPU. It was more just like the game is just old, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
It's decrepit, but yeah, at that point. But hey, I will say, man, just for the fact of like, Crysis was always like the game where it's like, yo, I remember playing Crysis 3 a little bit on 360. I was like, yo, this game is fire, but I cannot play this shit because just because the fact of it's too intensive on my shit, bro.
Yeah.
But from my perspective and my experience, it being such a visual and technical masterclass down there every time, like it'd be sharp every time I've seen that game, like be on YouTube or whatever. It is sharp as hell, bro. So I'm actually interested to see how it comes out and what's how is it all gonna take shape and stuff. But I'm excited that Crysis is coming back. It actually prompts me. I might want to play through the games. I'm saying, like replay 3 and then go back to 1 and 2 and see what's going on with it, man. But I like Crysis as a series, man. Again, more games the merrier. So I'm hoping that Crytek, puts their whole foot in this. And yeah, God bless your GPUs, man. 3090s, you're probably not gonna do shit. I'm sorry, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Facts. But yeah, man, that was a quick little one. On to the next one. We've had a lot of movement this week on Star Wars, man. There's been a lot of shit going down, man. There's several reports going down, so we'll break it down into one and two. This first one, due to recent reports suggesting a focus more on the Battlefield series, a lot of stories have dropped suggesting that there is no Battlefront 3 in development, leaving that project on the ice indefinitely. So, we know that, of course, DICE developed Battlefront 1 and 2, and we've had a lot of a big switch up in terms of the direction of Star Wars games that are going forward, especially with the 3 new announcements that have happened this week. We'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, man, apparently no Battlefront 3. Battlefront 3 is dead in the water. It's not going to happen. How are you feeling about it?
Not sad about it. They didn't make too good. They didn't make any good games. Like Battlefront One was bad. Like I don't think anybody
Bad.
really enjoyed Battlefront One. Battlefront 2 was horrible until they fixed it, but like they fixed it like way after the
Way
fact. It
too
was
late.
bad in beta.
Like a
It was bad in alpha.
year and change after. That's when they actually came around. I was like, yo, this is actually like good. They actually fixed it. Wow.
Like I can
Mm-hmm.
progress without having to break my pockets. This is like an absurd concept, I guess, to
Mm-hmm.
EA. But they took that, they bought like the license and just thought, hey, we can just sell Star Wars and people are gonna buy it. And it's not the case because people didn't buy it because it didn't sell well. It didn't sell well, it didn't do well. And even when you're playing it now and this like when I played it recently,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like last year I was playing it. It was fun, but it wasn't if I people who started before me were crushing my shit, and then
Yeah.
people who were just like it was in a weird space. It didn't get the support that it kind of really needed. And honestly, it all came back down to just greed. Like it just came to like loot box systems
Yeah.
that nobody asked for, upgrades that you had to pay for. Like it was just absurd, honestly. And it from a if I have to pay for the game, it doesn't make sense to make people pay to progress. Like if it was a free to play game, it would have been different. It's like, yo, you can grind out and get a hero or get whoever, no
Yeah.
problem, as long as you're playing the game. But like have making me pay for the game and then pay to unlock whoever, it was just it's just a bad idea.
I agree. Battlefront has been, of course, the last two iterations have been met with so much like bullshit, and it's tough for me to be like, yo, I really want to see a three. My heart of hearts, I'd love to see a three just because of how two ended up. Like it was great. It turned into a really good stuff. Like I fucking love Ewok kind of. I love all that shit, all the game modes that they
Yeah,
put in. Like they turned into a dope product, but over the entire lifespan of the new iterations of Battlefront, you can't justify a third one for me because I'm like, yo, there's too many risks involved with
yeah,
you making one like the end of Battlefront 2 out the gate. That's hard for y'all to do. It seems like y'all can't get that right. And especially with DICE now, they got a lot of bigger fish to fry in the, in something that we'll talk about in a second as well. They got some bigger shit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So now the fact that respawns come in, and again we're gonna talk about this as well. Respawns come in and be like, "Yo, we got the shit. You're good." You know what I'm saying? You guys are good. We can handle this stuff going forward. I feel like there's not no feasible room. There's not any feasible room for Dice to commit so much bandwidth to this because it's just like, yo, we got more important stuff to do, and we've handed off that responsibility of Star Wars and that relationship that EA has with Star Wars to another company, and they're like, yo, we got this for now. We don't need that. And I don't think the fans are clamoring for a Battlefront 3 like that. I'm personally not. I don't. I feel like some fans would be, but I know considering how the development process goes, with these things, or at least how it's been shown in the past historically, how it releases, how things go. There's always something that turns the fans off for a good amount of time, and then they come back around. So, I'm not too sad at this. It is what it is. Battlefront 3. I mean, shit. I got like 5 or 6 different Star Wars games that I want to see before Battlefront 3, to be honest. So it's not even that crazy of a loss for me. Everybody gets to focus on things that they need to, and we're moving forward amicably. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, bro.
I feel you. Yeah, like I don't think anybody's really looking towards Battlefront 3 right now. I feel like they need to really prove to the fans that their acquisition of the Star Wars license
Mm-hmm.
is something that wasn't a mistake because we got uh Jedi, The Last Jedi, or I always say the name wrong.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I keep calling it the movie. We got Fallen Order, which is an amazing game, but like you can't compete with a game that's really, really good, with a game that was a complete and utter cash grab. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to like show them that like, yo, we're listening, we're growing, we're evolving, and maybe in like 2 or 3 years, another Battlefront will be more exciting to hear about. But like right now, if you tell me, oh, there's gonna be a new Battlefront, I'm just gonna be like, well, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think they've grown from this. I don't think they've learned from this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. But that brings us into our next piece of news on the Star Wars front. So basically, Respawn kind of stepped up and announced themselves as kind of like that purveyor of, you know, that Star Wars relationship moving into the next few years. They announced their plans to expand, of course, on the Star Wars universe in this next round of games. So it's being overseen by the group GM and founder Vince Zampella, former head of Respawn's Apex project. He kind of switched gears and he's doing more of the Star Wars stuff. And the studio has officially announced one, a new action adventure entry into the Jedi series. That's most likely Fallen Order 2. 2, a new FPS title from lead developer and Star Wars game veteran Peter Hirschman. So that's a new shooter on the way. 3, a new strategy game being collabed on by Respawn and BitReactor. And BitReactor is a new studio which has been formed by veteran developers from the XCOM series. Wow. 3 new games. A lot of stuff to be brought into the pipeline. New projects from Respawn. Respawn are leading the charge on Star Wars for this entire next few years. How do we feel about all this?
I think it's a good. So Fallen Order 2, I think is going to be good. I think we can rest assured on that one. As
Yep.
long as they just improve on what the first one did, I think we'll be good to go. A new FPS title could be good, could be bad. I'm excited if it's like a story based one, or even if it's just uh, like like I said before, like I feel like first person shooters, single player games are kind of a dying breed.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see FPS because I feel like we don't get a lot of Star Wars FPSs outside of just like Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be super fun. I'm really excited about the XCOM one. The only thing I'm concerned about is as long as it's not a mobile game, because they don't necessarily say that it's
Yeah.
not a mobile game.
Mm.
But I like the XCOM's games because of the level of customization and
Yeah.
how like connected you can get with the characters and how like you can like plan things out. I think it's super interesting and it also
Mm.
lets you like experiment with things that you couldn't normally do in a gameplay aspect. Like maybe you don't want to put somebody who's super force powerful in a regular FPS because it might throw the balance off or whatever.
Yeah.
But in a game like XCOM, you can get away with that kind of stuff. So you could like explore a lot. You can see a lot of different like of the Star Wars universe. I think it'll be a great spot for it.
Mm.
Um it's a lot of cool things, but it's just like again, we're really pushing this idea that all this stuff is cool because of one good Star Wars game. Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's like one good Fallen Order was one good Star Wars game that we all really enjoyed. But like for me to get hype about 3 different games made by Respawn because they made one good one, it's just really hard for me to like
Mm.
to really be super excited. I still got to see what happens.
Now, I can see your point. I can do that, but I'm honestly just I'm a nerd the fuck out. Fuck it, I'm excited. Why not? Why not? I'm gonna say it. I'm excited.
I feel you.
Yeah. I just feel like given Respawn's track record with just single player things beforehand and how they've handled themselves with studios and the things that they've managed, of course, you see Apex, you see Titanfall 2, you see Titanfall. With those projects, I feel like they've done a lot to show, how they can maneuver in a lot of these spaces. The only one I will give exception to because they haven't worked on anything strategy, but that's where BitReactor comes in for the third one.
Yeah.
And again, they have a team full of veterans from XCOM, from all the XCOM games. So I have faith that they'll know what to do in terms of the gameplay format of that and bringing out more of that Star Wars style, in the mix with that. Mainly speaking to the first one, Fallen Order 2, again, I have no worries about. I have I have zero worries about. That's one of those games where it's like, yo, you surprised me so much, and I can really, really put my faith in the team at Respawn right now because I think they're one of the best studios like that's doing it right now. Like based on form, they're probably top 3, honestly, in my opinion, just because of the level of quality they've been putting out. So I trust them over there to put out a great Fallen Order 2 experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a great build on what's we've already come to know as a solid first iteration in that series. That would be dope. I have no problems about that. The FPS title now. I see this and I see, okay, Respawn, Titanfall 2's campaign, Peter Hirschman, he has a lot of experience. He worked on the Force Unleashed game. He worked on a lot of Star Wars games. Like you can go check his CV. Like he has like so much Star Wars experience. So he has a lot of background and know-how on that universe and how it operates in a video game sense in different fashions. He even did Lego Star Wars games, in which that's a whole different type of credit, bro. You are already solid in my eyes, bro. You already solid in my eyes. I don't care if it's rehashing a story. You did that, damn it. You did that. So I got to give him some credit for that too. I don't give a damn what y'all say. But yeah, that's that. And when you mix that all together, I feel like that's a good recipe for something that's, you know, it's going to be built for success. Respawn knows how to format something in that FPS format. They've been there, they've done that, and all they have to do is add this to the mix, is the Star Wars element. How do we mix that? And you put Peter Hirschman in that mix. He's a veteran who knows both sides of that coin. We can make that happen. I feel like it'll be a really, really solid project, man. And at the same time, like we think about all this stuff. Look at this, man. This week they dropped the footage of Star Wars 1313. They dropped the footage of that canceled game, that gem that we could have had. And I'm like, yo, and once you see that tangibly, I'm like, yo, if we were like leading onto this, you know what I'm saying? No, not really any Jedi, no, nothing like that. Just a really different setting, you know what I'm saying? Completely different, focused on, you know, just shooters, you know what I'm saying? We in there, we with the gunplay and stuff. It's possible. And I feel like with Respawn, they have the capability to actually like hammer down on this and make it fire. So I have no qualms with them announcing this FPS title. I have no qualms with them saying it. I can't wait. And again, think about Star Wars, bro. You have so much room to run. You can make a Mando shooter series. You can make a Han Solo shooter series. You can make a, you know what I'm saying? You have so many different places to tap into. You know what I'm saying? You can make it about Chewbacca, bro. Like, and it would still be kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of pockets you can tap into with Star Wars. And that's the beauty of this series and this partnership, because Respawn has a lot of experience in the genres that they deal with, and just you can take this anywhere with Star Wars. You can really just pick up but you can put random like locations and time periods in a hat and be like, oh, the Mandalore Wars, bet we about to go to Mandalore, talk about that for like 5 minutes, make a whole FPS game out of that. It's gonna be fire. I think the capacity is there on both sides to make something that's truly great, especially in the FPS sense. Fallen Order 2, I have no qualms about, and the strategy game, honestly, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily the biggest strategy guy, but you know, if it's the premise interesting, if it's something like a Halo Wars 2 where it's like, okay, there's a good lore that's involved in there, there's a good story, I'll jump on it. I'll give it a shot because why not? So I really think this would be a dope partnership. I'm just concerned about the bandwidth. How many studios are working on this at Respawn? How many teams are spread across? And will the quality be affected? That's my major concern. I like the intent behind Respawn of trying to take this on over the next couple of years, but the roadmap and the potential, you know, the crunch of the development cycles, do they overlap at all? You know what I'm saying? Is there teams being borrowed? Are there people being borrowed from each teams? What's the breakdown looking like for that process? Because if that affects the quality of Respawn, that's where we're gonna be like, damn, you kind of bit off more than you can chew in this area, bro. Like, yeah, you know, we thought you had it. You announced 3 games, but I think from the way it's being mapped out, you know, I think they do have it under control, and that development cycle is gonna be contained. Because if we heard rumors about Jedi Fallen Order 2 from like late last year, early this year, I feel like that's gonna be first. Like, yo, we already got that out the way, y'all. That's done. Now we're just kind of splitting time between the FPS and then the XCOM team, which is more bit reactor side. So I feel like they have that process under control, but I don't know. Who really knows? It's only the Respawn team and God. I don't know. But I'm hoping that doesn't.
An Apex.
Yeah, and Apex as well. Continued development of Apex. I know Vince Zampella isn't overseeing that completely, but he's still, you know what I'm saying, GM and co-founder, or GM and founder, so he's going to be looking at that as well. So they have stuff to juggle. I'm just hoping that they all, you know, they get it through and then they get it down packed, man, because this could be a really, really good run for just Star Wars and gaming in general if we can get this done and we can get a lot of eyes on this. So hope for the best. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for sure.
Honestly, man. And speaking of, you know what I'm saying, certain titles under an umbrella, let's talk about it, man. This has been an interesting thing I've seen pop back up. So one of the more interesting stories from the week comes from industry insider Tom Henderson, who reported that EA are starting to explore avenues that may convert Battlefield 2042 to a free-to-play experience. Now, despite the build-up and the fast start, the declining player counts, bugs and glitches, content rollouts that may be lacking in moderate up until this year have contributed to a disappointing launch for the team at EA, and options may be brought in to remedy that. So what are we talking about when it's
when I saw this? When I saw this, I was thinking to myself, if I could get a refund on my game,
Because I swear to God, if I spend money on this fucking game and they're gonna make it free, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Because the thing is, the
Oh,
shit that I paid for is just like not even like the thing is, I bought the like legendary edition. I
mm-hmm.
wanted to play it a week early. That was a fucking mistake. Let me tell you, you could barely play the game a week early. I could barely play the game fucking now. Actually, it's it's very disappointing. It was a shitty fucking release. I really like. I hate being so fucking critical and so mean. But it's just like I lost $80. That's why I'm so fucking
I feel
upset.
nah. Listen, I feel that, man. It's your wallet.
And you're gonna tell me that this shit is gonna be free? Like that's OD. I want my money back if it's gonna be free. I spent $60. I want at least $60 back. Like fucking I paid for the game, and if it's gonna be free, what's the point? What am I gonna get? A little charm that says, "Hey, buddy, you can put this on your gun and show people that you got fucking played." Like, I don't want that. I want my money
Mm.
back because the game doesn't work. Like, I play it now, like today. I could launch it today. I could fix it. I could verify the game cache. Actually, I could delete it, re-download it, play it right now, and that shit is gonna run like if it was on a toaster. And I could run Halo, which arguably has way better graphics, and it'll run smooth as hell. My computer will be running like about to die, but it's gonna run smooth, and that's the difference. Is that one game is a very bad release, a very unbalanced, too many bugs that I can't even count on one. I can't even count how many bugs I've encountered. And now you're telling me, oh, we're gonna make it free to play. That doesn't fix the problem. You need to fix the game, is what you need to do, because you could have had one of the best FPSs. You guys had the ball in your court. You guys had another World War II Call of Duty game coming out. Overwatch was getting hit with the crazy Activision Blizzard scandal, so not many people were playing. Like there were no
Yeah,
shooters in your way.
Halo was up in the air. Halo didn't do anything yet. Like they had the
Yeah,
onus
Halo
was on
wasn't
them.
out. Halo wasn't even out yet, and like even when they dropped multiplayer, it was out, but it wasn't Battlefield. It wasn't big scale battles. Like it wasn't really
Mhm.
a big competition with it because it was
Facts.
4v4 is like what Halo's
Yeah,
known for,
the
even
arena
now
shooter.
and ranked. So
Hmm.
it's like you have no real competition, and y'all still fumbled the ball. Like it's crazy. Your only competition really in that space is maybe Apex. And that's a BR. That's not even a
And that's
Battlefield
still
game.
in your company. That's still
And that's still
EA,
in your company.
EA Respawn. Y'all still around the same spot.
It's it was so funny because I remember Battlefield got released when Titanfall 2 got released, and it feels
Mm.
kind of like this was payback, where it's like now Battlefield is releasing, but Apex
Ah,
is taking all the money and all the gamers because nobody's playing Battlefield.
facts. Hey yo, I didn't
And
even see it like that. Fact. That's revenge, baby. I'll take. You know what? For the sole fact that Titanfall 2 got hold years ago in the same type of situation, I'll accept that. That's fine.
yeah,
Right.
it's it's insane. And like I was literally thinking to myself, like, how many hours did I play it, and can I get my money back? Because I didn't get it on Steam or anything. I got it on EA, so it's like
Mhm.
I could imagine them being like, "Nah, son, you're not getting that money back.
Yeah, they
You can enjoy this fucking little gun." Like I've seen it happen before. They're gonna give me like a melee weapon that I'm not gonna be able to use because the game doesn't fucking work. So I'm gonna be sitting there running around with a knife, being like, "Hey, look at me. I got played. Look at my nice cosmetic. I got taken for my money. Sick."
bro. I know how you feel, bro. I know how you feel. I spent money on this joint too, man. It's
Yeah,
just
bro.
like
We're all like, come on.
it's just disappointing, man. It's just like, bro, I would have much rather y'all delay this game to make sure your content offering was smack dab fire from day one. From like the second one, the servers dropped. You had everything. You had Portal ready. You know what I'm saying? You had all that warfare ready. You had the whole hazard zone mode ready to go. Fire, all good. I really wish that they would have had this on deck because it would just help their case, man. I want to see Battlefield win. I want to see all these games win, but specifically Battlefield, just because you was in you were in a lull for so long. But then after this
Mhm.
drop, I understand from a business perspective why you want to do this. Free to play counts. You know what I'm saying? I've heard, of course, stories as well. Thank you for the chat for reconfirming that as well. Like, there was considerations for just the portal mode to be, reestablished into a free to play mode, and everything else stays paid. And I'm like, okay, cool, but it's like it still feels like, yo, you're not addressing the actual issues of all the bugs, all the major bugs and glitches. The content is what gets me the most. The content rollout. I feel like there's only a set when I got like 15. You know what? I'd say 21 days. I say 3 weeks. 3 weeks before that initial, oh my goodness, this is a brand new game. This is fantastic. We're doing all this great stuff. Everybody's exploring everything. It's great. As soon as that 21st day hits, you're like, okay, cool. Where's, let's start, that's cool. That's nice. That's dope. They're already getting control of the game, in the sense of, oh, they know the game, they're playing it, they're doing stuff that never seen before. Everybody's doing these novel clips and everything like that. And it hits a wall where it's like by the 1 month mark, 28 days or whatever, you're like, oh shit, okay, where's the new stuff? People are got the attention spans are going crazy. You're like, yo, bro, where's the next thing? Where's the next map? Where's the next gun? Where's the next thing in the slew? If you don't announce nothing, people are gonna start clamoring for it. And I think yesterday or today there was supposed to be a drop for a new map or some content rollout for Battlefield. Like now, and it's already out of mind. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You don't even know. I'm from like a report I saw the other day. I'm just guessing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to stay on top of the momentum you have, and the fact that okay, cool, bugs and glitches, blah blah, cool, that's gone. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? The content rollout was pretty much moderate. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a heavy joint. It wasn't a heavy influx of content on the first day. You didn't have stuff out the wazoo. If your biggest, proponent was Portals, and while Portals is fantastic, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't hype that up as much as the other, like all out warfare, the high scale, you know what I'm saying? Like the, major maps, the main stuff that you had, and it's still buggy and glitchy, and you didn't promote that, the marketing service is all like, saying like all out of whack.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing, bro? It just feels like a bit of a mess. That's what it feels like to me. And now they're trying to again artificially create that buzz back again with Battlefield free to play. Come back on this. But what are you gonna do to keep the rollout consistent with content? That's my biggest gripe. That they didn't have the stuff ready to roll as soon as you hit that 1 week couple week mode or something like that. Like that's crazy. I'm about to say, EQ said, did you see that? Do you see that someone made a battle royale mode within Portals? They're making battle royales in Portals, bro. They're making modes. I understand that Battlefield's an open source type of thing in certain respects, but it's like, yo, they making modes and they're sustaining life force when y'all still got bugs and glitches in y'all game. Y'all can't even fix that. They making new modes for themselves. Y'all got new maps and stuff loaded. Y'all didn't even drop them yet. Y'all didn't even announce them yet fully. And people are already making new modes on Portals. Like, I'm just saying, for Battlefield, they got to really get it together. They got to shape up, man. They're behind.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've played a good amount, and I really try to incorporate it because, like, I really love Battlefield. I really try to incorporate it into my streams, but it's really hard when I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to play. Let me play a Battlefield, and it doesn't run well. Or even when it does run well, I'm getting destroyed by the same exact gun because it's broken, or I'm getting destroyed by the same exact skill. Like, it's just not balanced. It's buggy, and honestly, I don't think increasing the player base is really gonna help the game, because all you're gonna do is expose this not fixed game to more people.
You're only gonna exacerbate those issues that you've been running with the same time. Like the whole entire time, you're just gonna exacerbate that and magnify those issues to the public. Because the more people see this, they're gonna look, oh shoot, what the hell is rubber banding? And like 80,000 people are gonna like 800% more people are gonna see this online just because you open it up. You open, you know what I'm saying? You open that lane up for everybody. That's gonna create even more problems and it hurts your status even more if you don't get on top of fixing this, man. I feel like it's unfortunate that 2042 is in such a state right now, but even you know what I'm saying, even the biggest fans of it, I've seen Pro Westy, shout out Pro Westy. He was on my Twitter. He was like, yo, bro, like Battlefield's like not in a good space. It's not good right now, bro. Like they got this to fix, that to fix, that to fix. He be offering suggestions. I thought last week they were talking about scoreboards. They didn't have scoreboards. They didn't have a scoreboard, and then they try to propose a fix, and they're like, "Yo, that scoreboard look wild. Just make it like the Battlefield 4 one. Just literally make a regular scoreboard, bro. You ain't got to do that much. It's wild, man. And I don't want it to get that Hyperscape treatment, bro. I doubt it will because it's that big of a game. It's not a new venture. Yeah. It won't. But I don't want it to fall into obscurity again because of the same mistakes that have happened beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to focus on what you need to fix. Keep being communicative like you have been, but again, you got to work tirelessly for those fixes, man. Like that's what's killing you. That and the content drip for me. The absolute flow of content, you have to get it on track. Because damn, man, attention span's finite, man. You got Apex dogging you out. You got all these new games coming dogging you out. Like it's tough to keep up, man. But that's the industry right now.
I've seen more people play Call of Duty, which was a game that we have all made fun of literally before it dropped, and I've seen more people play Call of Duty on their streams than or
Facts.
even Call of Duty clips than I've seen of Battlefield clips, and that's what's sad.
That's a
Is
fact.
that it was a favored game. Everybody was excited, and like you don't see this shit nowhere.
Facts, man. I really believed in my heart of hearts that it was gonna be such a close race between 2042 and Halo Infinite as that shooter that won the season. And then it just came out. I was like, damn,
It's not even close.
Halo just kind of like rocked y'all niggas, bro. Like Halo has
Mhm.
problems still, trust me. But from an actual gameplay standpoint, you know, and the level of bugs and crashes and stuff were way lower than Battlefield to me.
Yeah.
They just, you know what I'm saying? Battlefield just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wildness, man. But Battlefield 2042, get it together, or at least hold out until Bad Company 3. That's my only hope. But we'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. All right, let's move on to Ubisoft, man. Cause what the hell? We got two what the hell stories and one okay, all right story. I'm interested. So let's talk about the first one. So Ubisoft are now developing a VR experience called Notre Dame on Fire, which reenacts the 2019 Cathedral fire and puts you in the shoes of a fire brigade trying to stop it. Based on the docudrama from filmmaker Jean-Jacques Annaud, the VR tie-in was developed to go with a theatrical release in March. What? What? Yeah.
Who asked for that? I feel that's a question we all really gotta ask ourselves with a lot of these. It's like, who's asking for this? It's like, I remember when it happened, a lot of people were like, "Oh no, it happened." A lot of other people were like, it's whatever. It's kind of like an old building, like shit like this happens." And then everybody else is just like, "What the fuck is even this?" And I originally thought, so I don't know why I read this completely horribly wrong. I thought that this was like, you know, the Library of Alexandria or whatever, like the one library that was like back in way back in the day that burned down, and we don't know all the knowledge that could have been in there. I don't know why I read the Notre Dame fire and thought about that. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing. Like, you know, it's a library that has untold knowledge, and we could be in it in VR.
No,
that's kind of
cool.
It
was talking about the shit from a couple years ago, bro. Just that building. You know what I'm saying?
The church. I was like, sure you could do, but the thing is that you could do this in you could make a firefighting VR game in general, and it would be it would appeal to me more
than
like the Notre
Fire
Dame
Force
thing.
game. Make anything else. Make anything else. I don't understand what was the. I'm assuming, of course, it was based on the reach out from the dude who's making that docudrama and the I guess subsequent movie, but I don't want to see a fire. You know what I'm saying, on VR. I don't want to see everything on fire in a VR. Me personally, I'm sorry about y'all. You know what I'm saying? And basically the premise of the gameplay is like, yo, you guys have like 1 hour to get, you know, put out all the fires, and it's like puzzles and stuff you have to solve for an hour.
What?
And then once the hour is up, the whole building goes up in flames and time's up and you got to get out. I'm like, what? I'm pretty sure this has nothing to do with what the firefighters did. I'm pretty sure they just got in and put out fires. There was no puzzles to solve, bro. But you know what? I'm not even gonna shout out to the French firefighters. Shout out to them for doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Salute y'all. But what the hell? Why? I don't. Unless it's a Quasimodo game, I don't want to play this shit. And even then, like, get that out of here, bro. Like, I'm Ubisoft, bro. Y'all want to literally sit down and go all around the sun and talk about every endeavor, project, and adventure aside from high quality games. What's going on, Ubi?
Yeah.
What's going on?
It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's just. I'm gonna say I don't want it, but I mean, I don't think many people do. I don't even know if this is gonna be like a free to play thing or if it's gonna be like a paid
if
thing.
It's paid, I would actually be living. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not doing anything with it, but I would laugh hysterically if it's paid. You gotta pay to go in there for an hour and be on VR and put out puzzle fires before the thing actually goes up in flames. I'm like, bro, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. But
I'm good.
Listen, whatever it's if it's the creative wishes of whoever made that docuseries in the movie, whatever. But I'm just saying y'all bugging for that one. That's my personal opinion. Y'all bugging. But anyways, that's that. Number two, they still don't give a fuck about your opinions, bro. They don't give a fuck about your opinions on NFTs. So Project Quartz, Ubisoft Quartz, which is the major NFT gaming endeavor from the company, they're still aiming to go full speed ahead. So this week we had I believe it was a VP of product innovation, Nicholas Pollard. He spoke on this. He spoke he spoke a little bit on some of the reception that Ubisoft Quartz had, and he said that their team fully expected the negative reaction, and players aren't really understanding the concept. And he was really going hard to just pitch the, again, the value of this, and how our team is working steadily to make sure this is reality. And showing the gamers that it's not what y'all think. It's not what y'all think. So how far, does Ubisoft team want to go with this, man? What are they trying to do?
It's insane to me because like I just don't get it. Like I don't get how somebody could see, wow, our community, the people who give us money, don't want this product, but they just don't get it. Like, nah, man, I don't think you get it. I like they understand. Like, I think they're underestimating how much gamers understand. And I think that a lot of the people who are like pushing for these products don't actually really play games. They don't actually make the same amount of money as your typical average gamer does. They're not even in the same space. This is just kind of corporate greed, if you ask me, because it's just like we're gonna give you NFTs, which are a lot of them are pretty pricey, that you are gonna buy for no real big value, because that's one thing you gotta ask people is like every time there's an NFT conversation, you always gotta ask people like, well, what's the value outside of you selling this for money or for crypto? What value does this bring? Not many people will give you a straight up answer. Honestly, I respect more people who tell me like, oh, I don't really give a fuck about the NFT or whatever. I'm just really in it to make money. And that's kind of what Ubisoft is trying to sell to us. It's like, no, it'll be more. It's not going to be just to make money, but it really kind of is, because there's just nothing that you can sell to me that's really going to make me want to buy an NFT. Like, I just don't see what you can put in your games that's really gonna push me. It's like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't even really buy a lot of their games now. I can't even remember. I'm a huge Far Cry fan. I didn't even buy 6.
Mhm.
And it's like, you guys are putting this money into NFTs and whatnot, but like I'm looking at the reviews for the freaking Far Cry DLC. That shit's not doing so hot,
Mhm.
bro. Why are we focusing on Notre Dame fires and NFTs when we could be focusing on good games? Because at one point you guys were a hot topic, but now it's just like, hey, you want to buy this cool skin that you can put in all of our games, bro? I would love to put this cool skin in all of your games if I owned any of your games at this point. But you guys keep fucking serving me this mid pack and expecting me to go crazy for the NFTs and the collectibles. Yeah, no, thank you.
It's just why? Like, there's just a lot of, nigga, you shouldn't even have had to do that, bro. But I understand you want peas, bro. And they're just like, from what I saw in the interview and stuff on the website, I think it was finder.com. If you guys can look up the article. It was just a lot of, they don't really see the value of it. You can like own a piece of that environment. You know what I'm saying? You can own a piece of the ecosystem in the game, the environment, the economy changes. You know what I'm saying? You guys aren't really used to it now, but you got to unlearn some behaviors and you'll get used to it and stuff, and you'll really enjoy and be invested in the stuff going forward. I'm just like, but my question is, how much of that environment do you get to own? How much of that are you pulling from it? Because that's really telling of if you're really driving to that. If that even makes any feasible sense for us to invest in, what are you getting out of it? And the obvious answer is you're probably gonna get a huge cut of whatever item or whatever you purchase, and it's still in that ecosystem. So it's your money that's being traded around. You take a little bit off the top here, there. You know what I'm saying? A little percentage off of whatever purchase, skin, character model, vehicle, gun, blah blah blah, and then you get even crazier profits. That's why. Like, I understand, and we're probably gonna say this shit probably like a million more times on this podcast in general for the rest of time. Like, I understand the application of NFTs, but when you pair that with a specifically gaming experience where people pay a base rate for a game, they pay money for DLC, they pay money for whatever selected skins that they want, and on top of that, you want to add methods and measures that add even more money off the top that they have to pay, and you just take, you use clip skin just for the sake of it, it doesn't really enrich an experience past a certain point. What's the reasoning? What's the reasoning? We do not want it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it. I know all the random dudes, you know what I'm saying, with the what's it called, bored giraffe or some shit like that, some ugly ass,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, some ugly ass wild ass farm animal and stuff on their profile pic right now on Twitter. They're gonna be like, yeah, man, let's have it, yeah, let's do it, yeah. But for the people who actually game, consistently, I don't think this is really of value to them. So, but they're not gonna listen to us. They just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Y'all get that next year, whatever.
You don't understand it.
Facts, bro. We'll see y'all. But it's apparently it's open, so studios can actually decide on their projects whether they want to include digits or quartz or not. So maybe that'll be subject to change as time goes on. We'll see. But my answer for me is, bro, like just focus on games, bro. Focus on yourself, King. Focus on yourself, please.
Yeah.
Please, man. And that brings us to our last story for Ubisoft. So we got some details on a project entitled Assassin's Creed Infinity. So Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot dropped a couple of more details on the upcoming project, which is, of course, unofficially Assassin's Creed Infinity. On an earnings call, he stated that AC Infinity will not be a free-to-play experience upon release, so you're going to have to pay some fees for that out of pocket. And the game will be packed with narrative elements as well as incorporate a lot of elements from many of the past AC games that the fans love. So it's being led by Montreal and Quebec Ubisoft, and the game was being described as a massive online platform that evolves over time with multiple settings touted for the game. It's looking a ways away, probably about a 2024 for a full slate of release or anything like that. What are we thinking? AC Infinity, man. Assassin's Creed Infinity. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm good. Like, as rude as it is, like, there's so many, and they change so often. I'm just like, I'm not a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed games. I'm excited for the Assassin's Creed fans, but every so often Assassin's Creed is like, oh, this game is sick. And then it's like, oh, like people are like, enjoy it. And then it starts getting like bad. And then they're like, yo, we need to stop again. Like, we always need to have this break. And I just feel like they should learn just take the break regardless if the game is good or not. Like, they shouldn't be like, this game was good, let's make another one next year because it was good. Like, they shouldn't hit a bad game to reset. They should just reset all the time. But it's just like they keep pushing out new games and nonstop, and it's kind of getting annoying because it's like I don't have all this money to give you guys, and especially if you're gonna give me games that are like pretty similar or to the point where it's just like it's not really worth upgrading to the new game. I just feel like Assassin's Creed is going down a rabbit hole of like being a tired franchise.
Yeah, unfortunately, I really want the best for Assassin's Creed because it's probably one of my favorite series. But I've fallen out of favor with it from like a long time ago. From whenever Unity dropped, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm cool off that.
That was actually where I started. I never even started, but like that's where I was like, this is shit is trash.
I play some Unity. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm good. Never again. Nah, I'm not doing it. And that's where I fell out. But then I've seen how it redeveloped and kind of reinvented itself with Origins and stuff. And I'm like, yo, that's great. That and Odyssey, dope stuff. And then I've seen, again, it delves into like, yo, you're going to like 100+ hour games. You're putting a lot of stuff on the content side. It's like, yo, it's great. But like, damn, I don't got enough time for this. So it's not really my cup of tea. And now you're adding this giant multiple setting online platform that could be an Elder Scrolls Online type Assassin's Creed environment with so many elements and stuff, and big bang fanfare, lion growls and all stuff like that, like a giant circus show full of Assassin's Creed. And I'm just like, yo, I want you to pull this off, but I'm wary that you put so much time into other projects, and maybe how do you combine the elements of so many different Assassin's Creeds to make them into one holistic experience? Okay, you said there's gonna be a lot of narrative elements. It's gonna be like just a co-op thing. It's gonna be completely online. It's gonna be like a DC online universe. What I'm saying? Is gonna be like that just for Assassins? Like, I'm very interested to see how it pans out. I hope the best for it, but again, given Ubisoft's track record with some of this stuff and the projects in general that they've had over the past couple of years, I fear for it, man. I like where it's standing, and shout out to fam in the chat. I was saying I like the gameplay format, but now it's turned from, okay, now you're just putting like a million hour games for there. I'm like, I can't play through all of them. It's like it's hard for me to get back into it when I personally have a time constraint just on different stuff. So there's that. And then, you know, we were at the point where Assassin's Creed always had stuff going on. They always had like a drop every year. Then they kind of backed it up a little bit. They have this last one, Valhalla, dropping stuff. You know, they dropping DLC like every like, you know what, few months or something like that. And they're adding on to it already 100-hour game. And I'm just like, yo, that's a tall order for me. It's like getting into One Piece, nigga. Like, that's a lot of stuff you got to get into. You might get, you know, phased out because of the time constraint. There's just a lot of stuff that I worry about with this project. And I'm like, how will you pull people in with this AC Infinity stuff? Is it like a paid, is it going to be like a what's the name, a Final Fantasy 14 online? It's going to be that type of thing where you have to pay a subscription every month and then you're in there? I don't know what this could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to speculate on it too much, but I really, really hope that narratively, there's a lot of cohesion and it comes out really good. And gameplay wise, there's too many things for me to explain that should have been back in the Assassin's Creed series in general. Where's the multiplayer? But that's my only thought. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But in general, Ubisoft's approach should just be focused on making these games as good as possible. Please, just focus on making that. Don't worry about this other stuff. You have your little team do that on the left and right, whatever. But focus on making these core game experiences the best they can be. And I don't want to look at fires. I'm not Smokey the Bear. Thank you. That's my PSA.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Let me go to the bathroom real fast. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got you. All right, let him do his thing. But yeah, man, it's just like, yo, who's doing fires, bro? Fires. And shout out to Swim. Ayo, shout out to Swim, EQ, Jen. You know what I'm saying? Sammy, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Sammy, I see you in the other chat. Shout outs to you, bro. Shout out to Ninjas. We see you. Odyssey's my favorite AC game in the longest time. And hey, I respect that because I've seen a bunch of gameplay. I haven't played Odyssey yet, but I know from all the stuff that I've seen from Odyssey and Origins that they completely revamped the series. But it's like, how are you gonna base that one thing off of, you know, for AC Infinity? Is that gonna be the next thing? Are you gonna do that and mainline Assassin's Creed games? What's the play? What's the format? Is it gonna be, you know, 100 hours? Gonna be continually rolling? Like, what's the play? And I feel like I don't know I can't see the roadmap necessarily, and maybe I'm not supposed to see, but I find it, you know, I find it difficult to see what's the next step that's alluring for people, for fans. From what I know, it's a revamp and they're switching it to a new format. See, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, is it just a complete like a rework of the series as we know it? But yeah, I agree about the RPG one. That was necessary. That was necessary and needed. But then, where do they go next? Do they keep the RPG element? Do they kind of revert back to type and go to, you know, the previous one, but still add some, you know, some fresh takes? How is the story even gonna pan out? Because I don't even know what the hell the story ended up. Aside from the people like in those historical times, Desmond been dead for like 6 years, bro. Desmond been gone. I don't know what the hell they been talking about. Juno been running rampant. You know what I'm saying? She been talking people up. She been knocked up pregnant. I don't know, bro. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't understand thematically and narratively. And I'm just like, bro, y'all need to figure it out. Because I was one of those people who's like, yo, I love this story. In the first 3 Assassin's Creed games, I love it. I love it. But as soon as Desmond died and stuff went like left and right, I was like, yo, I lost the plot. I was so confused on what was going on. And that's where I think that's where it started to lose me. Like as like just a fan and avid like player of it, you know? Oh man. They brought in a new main character? Bet. Okay. I think they've decided to set this I think they will go for something different. Word. Okay. Starting in Origins. Bet. Okay. Yeah, storyline was certainly the best. Yeah, man. I'm like, and the fact that y'all even killed Desmond like that, I'm like, bro, I would love to see how that would have developed if he was still alive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just my personal gripe. I don't think he should have died like that. I want to see him actually fight some manifestation of the Templars. You know what I'm saying? Like, Abstergo in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like figureheads and shit. I wanted to see fights and him starting up in the Order and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the modern day, or like moving with the Order in modern day, organizing and shit and growing. And I don't know. I personally would have loved it, but you know, the plot how it went. I don't mind it though. But I'm gonna talk about this while we on a break. You know what I'm saying? Before one comes back, that multiplayer from AC Brotherhood was ridiculously good, and I'm pissed that it's gone. I'm pissed. I think they had to kill Desmond to focus on Abstergo. Okay, that's all right. That's fine for the sense of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit rusty on the plot, so I forget shit, but forgive me. But yeah, the Ezio games. You already know the Ezio games was prime. You already know, man. Like, dog. I know my personal favorite is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. My favorite is Brotherhood, just for the fact that you had that multiplayer mode, bro. Oh my gosh, it was so Fems. It was so fun, Fems. It was so fun, man. Like I didn't realize how fun it was gonna be and how much I get into it off of the leveling, just the systems in general, the whole contract. Like it was just dope, man. It was dope. You sitting there in a party with people. Oh my gosh. You know how many times I'll be sitting there walking with the hookers and whatnot. I just be cloaked up. I'll be sitting there like, I got his ass, boy. My bar blue as hell. This whole thing, this circle full. I see him right there. Gone. Out of there. Like, oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful. I absolutely love Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Hands down my favorite. And then my second one will be 2. My third one will be Assassin's Creed 3. Fourth will probably be Black Flag. And my fifth one will probably be 1. Out of the ones I played. Now, if I play Origins and Odyssey, they'll probably bump a couple of those out of the spots. But I need to go play them. I've only seen some of the story and stuff about Bayek and whatnot, which I like it, but I need to play it for myself to get the full determination. I don't want to automatically displace it because I've seen some shit. I gotta play it. Gotta feel it in my hands. So that's that. We gonna figure it out.
My bad, y'all.
Nah, it's all good. We gonna edit it out in post. We gonna edit that in post. It's all good. All right, let's get back into it, y'all. So yeah, we gonna switch gears, man. We on the trailer trove now. We gonna talk about some of the latest and greatest news on the movie front, on the theatrical release front. So we got a couple of updates. First and foremost, it's coming from the people's champ himself. It's all about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Dwayne Johnson himself. So The Rock has stated that this week he is adapting a video game into a film at his studio, $7, but the actual title is being kept under wraps. He went on to state, "We're going to bring one of the biggest, most badass games to the screen, one that I've played for years. I'm really excited to bring it to fans around the world." But the only question here is, I want to play the guessing game. What do you think? What do we think it is? What is it?
All right, so he's a big dude. We could see. I mean, like it depends because I'm assuming if he's making the movie, he wants to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what? There's so many good franchises. He says he's been playing it for years too. So it's something established. It's not something new.
Go ahead.
No. You go ahead because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
My first. Wait, hold up. Swim said Mass Effect. Ain't no way. There's no way he could play Shepard. I'm sorry. Listen, The Rock is like my top 2 favorite wrestlers of all time. Like top 3, top 2. That man cannot play Shepard at all, bro. We're not doing that. We're not.
Can you imagine just not Commander Shepard and you just see like the eyebrow raise, like what he's saying?
Just the straight. Hell no, bro. Hell nah. Niggas about to rock bottom Saren? No, I can't have that. I can't do it in a movie. I can't do it in a movie format, bro. We're not doing that.
I'm a Spectre.
At all. I refuse. I would refuse, bro. I would talk to BioWare myself. I would drop kick niggas myself, bro. There's absolutely no way.
Pansy ass Reapers.
He said talking to the first Reaper. He said, "What's your name?" "My name is." So it doesn't matter what your name is.
Like you just see the dialogue options, like "What's your name?" and then he just skips it.
Oh my gosh, bro. Nah, this man could not play Anderson, bro. He's not playing Anderson. He's not playing any of them. Nah, bro. Just make Anderson Keith David. Literally, just make him the voice actor. Just make him Keith. I would be fine with that. Just use the voice. Take it. And damn that choice. I resent that. My top guess is Gears of War. Now, it's Gears of War because of the narrative. Really action-based. He's talking about badass stuff and all that, blah, blah, blah. He's a big, muscle-born dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a muscle-bound dude. And just the fact he said he's played it for years, And I'm thinking about Xbox and stuff. Okay, he was there with the first Xbox, blah, blah, partnerships with all that BS, da, 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 da. It seems that he has an easy into a lot of Microsoft IPs. So that makes sense logically that he can take Gears of War and actually make it to a feature film or whatever project he has. It seems that he has that access. To me, logically, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I think that's my choice number one. That's my choice number one.
Yeah. I think oh my god, I don't have an order for him, but I could see it being Warhammer 40K, just because that game is like early 2000s. He could have been playing it in his childhood, not necessarily now, but he could have been playing it.
Put him and Henry Cavill in that hole. Henry Cavill been waiting on that role. He would
love, what the fuck? Love that. That's what I'm saying. Is like I think that would be it. And the thing is that that's a game where you're playing like super beefed up dudes who are like all about war,
hella war,
so like
shooting. Facts.
I could see a Warhammer game easy.
Fact. We're not doing God of War. He's not Kratos. No, we're not doing that. The only way we would do God of War is if he was Hercules, because he already played Hercules in like an old ass movie from like 8 years ago. That's the only way I see him in that movie, and then he gotta die. I'm sorry. Unserious, bro. If I see him in any game that involves the same T-shirt that he been wearing in the same like Fast 5 movies that he did, or a Jungle, I'm done. I'm done. I'm DDTing people, bro. There's no way. There's no way.
I can't see God of War just because Sony has a movie company. Like, you know, like Sony makes movies.
Facts.
So like,
why would they hand it off to his company? You know what I'm saying?
Unless it was like sponsored, but I don't think that they would give it to his company. I think if anything, they would just like make the movie and then cast him in it. Like, I don't know if they would give it to his company to make the movie, you know?
Facts. But and again, from what it sounds like, it's like, yo, him and his company have ownership over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're producing that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I think it's gonna be involved with that. So it's not like Sony is giving him the movie to star in and shit like that. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's anything else besides he's taking that IP and then he's producing it with $7 production, his company and stuff, and making it happen. Like, I wanted to look through some of the quotes to see what people have been saying. This nigga said Kingdom Hearts. Get the hell off my screen, bro. What the hell is that? What the hell is that supposed to be? His big bald ass gonna be Xehanort. Nigga gonna put.
I would love for him to be Sora, and then he's just like, those are nobodies, and he's like, oh, I bet they are.
Yo. Those are my friends. My friends are my power. Like the big ass dude. Oh my goodness. My friends and the millions
with your candy ass.
The face. Oh my goodness. GTA? Nah, bro. I don't know. He'd have to have co-stars for that, bro. I don't think it's that. What if they just what if he just remakes Doom? What if he just remakes Doom?
That'd be great, actually. I think we're ready for.
He actually retcons Doom. That'd be the ultimate redemption arc, though. I'm not gonna lie. If he retcons Doom, that would be hilarious. But he needs to actually be the Doom Slayer. You know what I'm saying? He need to actually be Doom. I don't know if he do it, but that would be a funny thing. That would be a funny thing. You said he would.
Doom. It's like, I love the series. I love the silent protagonist. If he was a Doomsayer, I don't know, like, because the thing is, like, I write scripts on my free time. I try to get more into it, but like,
yes,
I like would love to do a Doom movie, but it's really hard to capture Doom guy as like a character without making him talk. But like, so like, maybe even if he was just like a really good fucking Marine who fought a Poseidon or just in the universe, like, I don't know, like, it would have to be. You have to play around with certain IPs. I just don't feel like fits so well because Doom is very gameplay centered. You have to have something with a good narrative that is really like captivating. Because a lot of Doom's story or lore isn't in the game itself. It's just like you just went through an entire fucking level of hell, and at the end you fought a bad guy. He blew up. Crazy. Let's go to the next level. That's kind of how Doom plays in. So I don't know how a movie would play like that. You know?
Yeah, I feel like they would just extend like a level and kind of like trunk. They would alter the actual like. They would manipulate the actual time, I guess, the timeline where it'd be like, okay, cool, this is just one giant level. You know what I'm saying? You enter this realm and you got to get to the end of the realm, and that's the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll condense it to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? They'll do like little things here and there to be like, okay, cool, this is a little mini boss right here. That's a little mini boss. Then you get to like the crazy ass demons and the Maker or whatever. I forgot what the hell the name of the like last chick was at Doom Eternal. But yeah.
That shit. I don't remember her name either. Okay,
it was something
that much of the story.
It was something Maker. It was something Maker. MAKYR. It was something. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild, man. He was already in a Doom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he could retcon the 2003 Doom movie. He could retcon that because that Doom was ass. That dude was straight ass. He could retcon it. He could redemption arc. We'll see. But that was really interesting to me, man. You know what I'm saying? The Rock, you know what I'm saying? He rock bottoming into theaters in the next couple of years. He's gonna be back with a new film that's video game based. So I'm hoping it's what we want. I would love to see Gears of War because that just makes sense the most. You could just throw a bunch of random like muscle bound people in there, just have a good old time, throw some comedy in there. Be a great time. Be great. That's
It doesn't
cool.
even have to be like the actual game because it's already an established universe. You can have your own stories in it.
Facts. You could literally just like put them in a unit that's next to Marcus Phoenix, and then they go one way, and then you go one way. Wonderful. Yeah. Doesn't even have to do anything. You think it'd be Punch Out, Fems? This man said it was gonna be Punch Out, bro. What? Ain't no way.
That'd be kind of cool.
Who the hell, Little Mac? Is he Little Mac? Like, that's a big ass Little Mac.
No, he could be his coach.
The trainer?
Maybe.
Oh, he could be the trainer.
That'd be an interesting and like, oh man, I don't know.
Oh, Doc. Yeah, okay, yeah, Doc. Yeah.
I don't like. It's so hard because it's like when I think about him, he's an older guy, so I'm assuming he was like around the Super Nintendo era. So it's like when I think about games that he played as a child or like growing up, it's like really hard to narrow down what he would want to do. Yeah. And also like have the rights to, because that's another thing, is like you have to have the rights and the studio to be able to make something. So I don't think it's anything off the walls, but I also don't think it's like something we wouldn't even have heard of either. Like he's not gonna be like, I'm gonna make a Pitfall movie and it's just like B-roll of fucking Jumanji. Like I don't think it's gonna be that, you know?
Yeah, no. I think it's gonna be something that again he can sink his teeth into. That's really action based. Again, based off what he's saying. Is action heavily, you know, influenced by that stuff. Badass characters are badass in general, so I feel like it's gonna be heavy hitting in that way. I really think it's gonna be Gears of War. That's my first guess. If it's gonna be some off the wall shit, like you know what I'm saying, like Persona, nigga, I don't know what the hell that's gonna be. Like I don't know how you even got that. I don't know how you even got that. Like, I don't know, bruh. Listen, this man say you gonna be Ganondorf, bro, and Zelda. Listen. He could be a Ganon. He gotta fix his nose up, you know what I'm saying? But he could be Ganon. But that's wild still. I'm like, that's still be pretty like left field. This man's gonna be Ganon.
We didn't even get a Mario movie yet. Let's not think that Nintendo has already signed off.
Oh my goodness, I forgot that Chris Pratt's still doing.
Chris Pratt is Mario.
Hey, let's move on. Let's move on to the next announcement, man. Fuck that. Let's move on to the next announcement. Let's get out of here before we talk about that, man. Oh shit. Hey, you just cursed it's cursed images, man. It's cursed images. Damn, bro.
I'm spitting facts. That's what we do here.
You're right, but damn it, the truth hurts. All right. The next announcement in the trailer trove section, according to Deadline, a sequel to the 2021 remake of the fighting franchise Mortal Kombat is now being developed. Now we have Jeremy Slater from the Moon Knight MCU series that he's currently working on. He's currently set to write the story for the sequel of that, and it's now greenlit for development. So my question is, how do we feel about it based off the first movie? How do we feel about it coming? Who do you want to see? Because I mean, sequel stuff's building a lot. What's going on with it, man? Mortal Kombat 2.
You know what's funny? I read that and I thought it was like another game. I was like, oh, cool, another Mortal Kombat game. So I watched like Mortal Kombat the movie. It was not terrible, which is a very big compliment to live action video game movies.
Hey, dead ass though. Dead ass. I'm gonna be honest. I was going in there expecting the freaking worst. I was ready to be like, yo, it's gonna be good. But you know what? Yeah. It wasn't that bad. I was like, yo, this is honestly all right. I'm like, I was trying to rationalize all the stuff I was seeing. I'm like, okay, I understand why you made certain things the way you did, just to give some type of like dramatic explanation to like, okay, how they have powers and stuff like that. Like they actually, and they held really close to like, you know, they had a lot of references. It was like laden. It was riddled with references and stuff, which I loved. I was like, yo, that's dope for people who like love the Mortal Kombat series. This is like an extra little tidbit on top for you. Yeah. I did have problems with, of course, you know, everybody gonna say the same thing. Cole was not the most dynamic of characters, especially main characters, to do, you know, major work on other established Mortal Kombat entities. Like I don't know how he did the certain shit that he did, but that's no me, puppy. That's no me. I don't write the script. That's not me. I am still honestly expecting a little bit of something. I don't know why. Like a little something.
I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't want to say I don't think it's gonna be worse, because it could be. Like it very well. It's not like video games where you can just reuse shit so that it's fun again or whatever. Like movies can either be bad or good.
Yeah.
Whereas, like for example, if it's something like another Mortal Kombat game, if they use the same systems that we enjoyed in the first one, it won't be worse than it because it will be it. But
Yeah.
it's a movie, so they don't have the same like cushion that most video games have. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for what they set up at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're gonna go with this movie. There are things that like if it would have just been one movie, one standalone film, I wouldn't have been like I would have been like I honestly would give it more credit now than I'm giving it because like if it was just standalone, I'd be like, okay, that was cute. We have whatever. Like Cole was annoying, but I don't really have to see him ever again. But now we're gonna try to
Mm.
make this into like a series or a franchise. It's like, all right, well, you killed off a good amount of the characters. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat, so they can come back or whatever. But it's like you killed off some pretty good
Mhm.
characters and like you killed off evil characters, but like obviously the evil people can come back because they're evil. They'll
Mhm.
go to I'll pull him from hell or whatever. But it's like man, I don't know. Like it's not something I was asking for, but I'm not something I'm against either. It was a pretty okay movie. It was fun for what it was, but
Mhm.
I don't know if I want to see more Cole. Like Johnny Cage, I would
I
love to see Johnny Cage,
Facts.
but
Facts.
I
That's a fact.
I don't know.
I
Like
I personally think this is a good time. You know what I'm saying? I still think there's like pretty enjoyable parts that can be salvaged from this run of Mortal Kombat. But now's the time to kind of switch gears and make Liu Kang the main character. You know what I'm saying? Make him the
yeah.
focus. You can put Cole to the side because he pretty much had his, his run in. You know what I'm saying? You gave him the whole fleshed out story. He's the descendant of, you know what I'm saying? He's a descendant of Scorpion. He got his powers, his family cool. You can put him there. And now you focus on other things, bringing in like a Johnny Cage. Like, okay, maybe Stryker's still out there. You could bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Like all
Mhm.
these characters who are outside of that realm that we haven't seen yet, bring them in. Focus on that relationship between, of course, like Liu Kang and how what's the name, Shang Tsung already killed old boy, which is wild. I don't know why they did that shit so early, but that blew me. But it is what it is. They killed Kung Lao so early, so you can focus on that, make him the main character, figure out how he becomes an actual monster again. You know what I'm saying? Make him do that. What was it called? And of course, the movie wasn't really like it wasn't the tournament. Like they BS'd it to be like, yo, this is before the
Yeah.
tournament even happened, bro. Like we didn't even do it yet. Yeah, y'all gotta
Yeah.
chill. Y'all going crazy. So make it the actual tournament. Bring us some new people. I personally wanted to see again a Johnny Cage would be great. Give me Quan Chi and give me a Shao Kahn. Give me a hint of Shao Kahn and make the Rock Shao Kahn. I'll take it, bro. Double that movie
Yeah.
up. Actually, wait a minute.
Maybe the timing is very interesting. Because I was
Wait
thinking about that too. I
a
was just like,
fucking minute. That nigga might be Shao Kahn.
nah, he might be. He
He might
might
be
be.
Shao Kahn. Yo, that might be the movie he was talking about.
It's a game that started back when he would have been
A kid,
younger.
a badass
Yeah, he's been
game,
playing it. Yeah, he's been playing it for years. It
action
fits the
filled.
bill.
Son of
The
a
only thing is that like,
bitch.
did his company make the first one?
Nah, I don't think he was involved with that. But I
That's what
don't,
I'm saying. It's like unless they gave him
because
not because
WB owns MK. Yeah, you're right.
okay.
But still, I don't want to like, you know what I'm saying, completely block him out. I don't want to block him out. Maybe it's just him and maybe some consultation from his team that's involved. I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
completely
I don't
block out
know.
this option now. That's
Yeah,
interesting that these two stories popped up at the same time though. Interesting.
I don't
I
believe in coincidences.
I don't, man. If you smell what Shao Kahn is cooking, all right, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it, man. This might be up there. That might be up there. All
Who's the
right.
champion of Earth realm? It doesn't matter who the champion of Earth realm
Said the
is.
people's champ said, like, nigga, all your ass. Oh
Oh
man, that's
god.
great. That's great, man. All right, that's enough for the trailer trope. That's enough for the movie stuff for the day. I got a couple topics left, man. Let's talk about it real quick, man. We are getting closer and closer to some mobile goodness as this week it was officially announced that the Steam Deck, thank you, the Steam Deck handheld is set to release on February 25th. We've also heard that the Steam Deck is coming out with the quick resume feature to allow for seamless transition between devices for the user. So if you're playing on your Steam Deck, you can easily jump back to the PC and vice versa without your game closing out or anything like that. So we got a quick switch between PCs and consoles or handhelds or whatever you want to call them. Coming out with a lot of solid specs, of course, out the gate. A lot of good technology that's built on. This might be breaking some wallets even more than before for this year's gaming activities. So the Steam Deck, what do we feel about it? You know what I'm saying? I had an interesting little side topic that we also saw this week with people, you know what I'm saying, trying to automatically drop it in with the Switch. What you feel about the Steam Deck, dog?
I own a Switch. That's kind of how I feel about the Steam Deck.
God
Not
damn.
even in like a console war kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just own a Switch. I just don't need another mobile with it. Like I don't need to have like so this is how when Panda isn't over, I literally sleep with like my Switch on the side of me because I
Oh
would
my
just play
god.
it and then pass out and just put it next to me. Like I was just like I don't
You
need two
you little
mobile
spoon in a
devices next to
Switch?
me.
You little
Yeah,
spoon in a Switch right now?
I tuck it in. It has its own pillow. Like I put a little bonnet on the Joy-Con so there's no drip. That's how I sleep. I sleep with my Switch on my
Nah,
side.
bro, nah.
Like, and my girlfriend isn't over. Like, what am I supposed to sleep by myself? That's
Somebody's got to
lonely.
keep his spot warm. What the hell you talking about?
Somebody's got to keep it warm.
Might as well be
No, but
Kirby.
it's like exactly. But it's like it's not even like a console wars thing where I'm just like, yo, I need like the Switch is better than the Stream Deck. I think they're both solid consoles. I just don't personally, my opinion, don't see the need in my Stream Deck because it's running games that I want to. Usually, all the games on my PC are games that I want to play on my PC or games that I want to play on a big screen. So unless the Stream Deck comes out with like a dock, which is why I love my Switch, is that I can easily take my dock anywhere, and then my handheld console becomes a home console when I'm playing with people, or when I have a TV available. Because like me and Panda will be like, oh, I want to hang out at my house for today. I got shit to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. Take my Switch, boom. I got a whole thing there. I'll just plug it up to her TV. If she's using the TV, boom, I'll just play it on my handheld or whatever. But like, I've never been like, yo, I really want to play Street Fighter 5 on my in the handheld format, or like, I really need to play Mass Effect 2 on a handheld format. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
personally, I don't really want that. I have my Switch for very specific things. It is my JRPG machine. It is my Nintendo machine. And that's another huge thing is that the reason I like my Switch is that it has Mario and it has like Zelda, Kirby, like it has the things that I want. And I know already because I've already seen the comments, and it's so fucking annoying that people bring this into the conversation like if it's a valid fucking thing. Well, on the Stream Deck or the Steam Deck, I keep calling it. Is it the Stream?
Yeah.
It's the Stream Deck. Not a big.
Steam.
Oh, it's the Steam Deck. My bad.
Steam Deck.
Sorry, not a big fan of the name. With the Steam Deck, you can just emulate Nintendo games. You can emulate a Switch on it, and then it's basically the same thing. No, it's not, because then I got to do illegal shit, and I'm not trying to get fucking arrested. So I'm good off that. I'm not going to be downloading the wild, like allegedly, I'm not going to be downloading the wild emulators. That's a lot of work. I already own a Switch. I'm just not going to get a Stream Deck. I already own a PC. Like that's the biggest thing is that I already own a PC. Now, if you're telling me that it comes with a dock and you can plug it into a TV, and now you have now your PC library is on your TV, and you can play with a controller or whatever. That is something different. That's something else. So that's a Steam Link, which I own. And I lost the pieces for it, so I don't play it with it anymore. But that was also like a big issue I had because I had the Steam Link, and every time I try to play my PC on it, they would be like, "Oh, you need to have your computer set to LAN awake or whatever the hell, and you can't turn off your PC. You got to leave it on sleep mode," which I never do. So it was like a big like finicky thing. I'm excited for the Steam Deck. If you don't own a Switch, I think if you want handheld gaming, I think it's gonna be the best thing for you. But if you're somebody who like wanted to play Mario games, I mean, just I would say get a Switch. But again, it's really for the kind of person you are, and I think it's gonna be a great console. Will I think it be bigger than the Switch? Probably not, but I think it's gonna be a solid console. I think it's cool. A lot of promise. I saw somebody hook up like a fight stick, and they were playing Street Fighter on it. And, like
I
they
did
popped
see
it up, and
that. I did see that.
oh, this is kind of cool because if you're in an airport and like because he had like a little fight stick that was just buttons. I was like, oh, this is cool because if you're on a plane or whatever, like you could just go ahead and like start lapping your combos or whatever. You're gonna be fucking annoying as shit on the plane. I'm not gonna lie to you because
the
I
pure
own a fight
click.
stick. That tapping, that shit is gonna drive everybody up the wall.
Facts.
But I think it's cool. I think it's a cool system. I can't wait to see when it releases. If they drop a little cheaper version of it, I might cop up because I do like the idea of being able to play my PC games on my TV. But it's still kind of a no for me, dog, because I'm still pretty broke and I ain't got it like that. I ain't got double handheld money.
I feel that, man. And then me, I don't got too much thought on it, but I'm just like, yo, don't compare, the Switch with this shit. I understand they're handheld, so you're gonna easily drop into that pitfall. But like, listen, the gaming niche and the audiences that they're serving are completely different. I'm sorry. They are very, very, very much different. Nintendo's got its own bubble. They're in, again, I'm gonna say this every time. They're in a treehouse, bro. They're in a treehouse. Don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? They're dealing with their own stuff. There's only a couple times that they come outside to come talk to y'all. That's like Rocket League. That's Apex, and that Apex version is trash. So they went back to the treehouse for that. There's not really much overlap. So with the Steam Deck, just focus on it being a good product when it comes out. I think it's going to be really good when it drops. Again, they have the dock that it's going to come with. Well, it's sold separately, but it's still going to come out. The dock is there. They have a lot of different capabilities that can come with the Steam Deck. I personally want it. I'm not going to get it off rip, but when it's time to, I'm going to get that. And then I am going to get the Switch when I have time. I do not have a Switch currently, but I want both just because I want that capability. Like, I want to see what the Steam Deck does when it hooks up to a TV and stuff, and it's like, oh, I can play some of these Steam library games on the go. That would be dope, honestly. If it runs very smoothly, which I think, you know, to a certain extent it will, and we have that on that side, I have a Switch covered. Like, it's more coverage for me. It's more coverage. So, you know, I think I'm going to have the bandwidth for it over the course of a year. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get a Switch. I think it's a good deal, man. So, and this thing, of course, comes in different sizes, like the different capacities for storage, like 512 gigabyte and then on down 256 and whatnot. So there's different preferences on pricing and all that jazz. So it's gonna be dope, man. I think it's gonna be a good release. And again, just for the people that like love to compare shit for no reason, stop comparing it, bro. Just go crawl into your hole, dog. Please compare the bitch you got.
I hate that like we keep drafting consoles into this war or like this competition because it's
every
really
time.
not. Like
every time, it's like, yo,
it's not a competition.
Valve was doing this just because they can. They got so much money. It's like, yo, we don't want to necessarily compete with anybody. We just want to drop this handheld, honestly. We're competing with ourselves. Like, yo, do they want this? Probably. Just ship it out. Why not?
They've been trying to they've been trying to take the PC gamers out of the desk space and fall into the console space for a while now. And you can see it with things like the Steam controller. I remember when that first got announced.
Yep.
Ugly as hell, but very interesting, cool. I liked the idea and the concept. Didn't know if I was gonna buy it or not. Yeah, I was just like that's the thing is like if that job would have been on sale, I might have copped because I love the idea of playing my PC games on a couch in my room, whatever. Same thing that happened with the Steam Link was like, hey, great concept, but it just didn't work for me. It just didn't work out. Like every time I try to set it up, basically what they want, the only way I could get it to work is if I went and downstairs turned my PC on, went back upstairs to my room, and then turned the Steam Link on, and started playing the games, and I'm like, this is cool. My internet was very weak, so it couldn't support like a really big graphically intensive game. So there was still input lag. So I was just like, again, great concept, just not for me. The Steam Deck though seems like the right move for them, and I'm excited to see what happens. Because again, if it works out perfectly, why wouldn't I? Like, why wouldn't I want to play my games on my TV from my Switch or from my Steam library? Because there's obviously more games that I have on my Steam library than on my Switch, like in general. But don't compare the two because it literally holds no purpose, and nobody's going to sit there. If somebody's arguing with you seriously about why the Switch is better than the Stream Deck, they actually have nothing better to do. You guys are literally both people with too much time on your hands. You're better off playing your games and just not talking about them.
I told you, man. They need to go compare the bitches they don't get, bro. They need to go.
You know
do
what
all
I'm saying?
that.
Like that's what y'all need to be worried about.
Facts.
Check the specs on that.
Yeah.
What's the specs on the hose? Like y'all don't like what are y'all doing? Y'all are just talking about like handheld. Just play the shit, bro. It's cool. I bought one. You bought the other one. Is that shit cool? Yeah, that shit's cool. My shit's cool too. We're cool. Like,
what's the overclock speed on you getting no bitches, bro? What's that?
Like, bro.
Oh, fuck it.
It's always the funniest joke. It's the funniest shit ever.
Oh, that's great. That's great, bro. Oh man, that's fantastic. Comparison is the thief of joy. Remember that, folks. Remember that. All right, on to the last topic of today. So we've heard a lot on the Twitch space. We got a lot of reports that Twitch is releasing a new ad incentive system for a selected amount of partners and affiliates. So depending on the size and output of a channel, an incentivized ad offer is given in which you can select your preferred offer, stream and meet those requirements across any given month, and then get paid on those set metrics. Now, this has been met with some mixed reactions, but it seems to be pushing forward as an initiative for more substantial and steady income for streamers moving forward. Now, we've had a couple of set of some of the looks of it. Of course, Zach Busey tweeted about it a lot and expanded upon some of the details. What are you thinking about this, Wen? Because there's a lot. There's a lot more to this that I first noticed, man.
So at first I was excited because I was like, mind you, if you guys are in my Twitch right now, you realize like you can't sub to me. I've unaffiliated for a while now. Actually, this September will be like a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on affiliating again. Mostly because like the idea, like the ones that I see here, like the incentives are like run 2-minute ads per hour, stream 40 hours a month. That is $500, right? Obviously $500 doesn't really get you far in 1 month for certain things. Now the one that says run 4-minute ads per hour and stream 40 hours a month, that's $1,000. That's $12,000 in extra a year that you could really put towards some good shit. um, so most people are going to probably opt for the most ad time to get the most money. Here my biggest issue is the 40 hours a month. So I don't know who has an extra 40 hours a month. I stream twice. I stream twice a week. I used to stream 3 days a week. Let's say my streams are like 2 hours a piece, because that's about the average of my streams are like 2 hours, give or take a 3 hour, 4 hour stream here or there. Um, that is just kind of crazy because you would have to do, if you do 2 hours, you would have to do 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, every week. You can't miss a day of streaming. And you have to run the ads. You have to remember to run the ads every single time. And to get the 1,000, I'm not saying it's impossible, but for people who have full-time jobs, how many of your favorite streamers who are partners but are not full-time, they're not full-time, how many days a week do they stream? And how long do they stream for? Because that's one thing that they should really look into. Instead of being like, do 40 hours a month, they should see the average of how long these people stream to begin with. Because when I was in college or unemployed, I could do 40 hours a month, no problem. But you're not going to pay me $1,000 to run 4-minute videos, or like, let's say it's 8 minutes of ads a stream. One stream is 8 minutes of ads. You're not going to pay me $1,000 to stream it to the 5 people average that I have. You're not paying me $1,000. If you are, that's insane, and I think we should keep this shit for real, for real. I think it'll be amazing because then no, but like real shit, I'll affiliate tomorrow if that's the case. Like, oh, you need 5 average viewers to get $1,000. I would do it. No, I would do it in a heartbeat. And most smaller streamers would. They would make the hours. They would find a way to make the hours. That's a great incentive. But that $1,000 is 1,000% for people who are averaging at least double digits, if not more than 25 viewers on average. Because that's a huge thing, is how many people are watching these ads. How much money are they really going to pay? Because they're not going to pay you to stream to 2 or 3 people, because people are just going to start their stream, run the ads, and then like do a sleep stream, or just like, oh, I'm writing my paper for college, listening to DMCA free music. Run an ad. Can y'all hook me up with the views? Because I know people who will like sit there and be like, oh, I'll watch it for you. I'm the 2 viewers. And that's what it comes down to, is like, how this seems kind of too good to be true from Twitch.
I feel that, man. And this is what the thing is, man. Like, for me, there's a couple of different areas where I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? And this is where things can get a little bit hazy. One, how is this rating going to be broken down on viewership and size? Because I'm pretty sure the discrepancy is going to be huge. Of course, it's going to be ridiculously, huge between people who are like, mid-sized streamers and people who are the tippity top or whatever. I think there's going to be a huge gap between the payments and the payout options of whatever tier you go, the lowest, middle, or the highest. It's going to be like, oh yeah, probably be like, maybe $300 max for some of the mid-tier people, 300, 400, maybe 500. I say 600, 700 max. 700, it would be like 30% lower than 1,000 that you might be getting if you're like, at the tippity top or whatever. I think that discrepancy is going to be really, really big, and people might not notice it, and it might not be, worth it. The opportunity cost might be too high for that shit to stream 40 hours. 40 hours, a whole 9 to 5 work shift. You know what I'm saying? Unless that's all you're doing as a full-time content creator, or you have some other venture that allows you all that time, cool. But otherwise, people have jobs, people have things like that. So I'll apply my case in this sense. I'm working a 9 to 5. I got a job Monday to Friday. You want me to put another 40 hours on top of what I want to do, or whatever amount of hours, you know what I'm saying? Of course, up to the creator, but you know what I'm saying?
Be another 10 hours a week.
Yeah, but you want the max payout. You want another 10 hours a week for me to stream. you know what I'm saying, on top of everything else just to hit that number. And based on my channel size, I probably wouldn't even get like $200 for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the massive amount of creators.
Don't forget about also, because you're a content creator, you're not just a streamer. You still have to make the YouTube videos. You
Facts.
still got to make
And
the clips. You still got to be on social media.
And still doing everything else.
Yeah.
For the fact of that's a lot of creators right now, the opportunity cost for me, in my opinion, that might be way too high. That might be not worth it at all. Second, selection criteria. Who is it going to? Because it's not going to everybody at one time. You're not dropping this, you know, it's not going to be ubiquitous across the platform. Who are you dropping this to? Because I would love to see a very balanced and eclectic mix of people in there, i.e. get black folks in there, get POCs in there, you know what I'm saying? Get a varied amount of people in this, you know, actual program. But we know who this probably going to go to first. I don't even need to say no more on that because, you know, it is what it is. Can we get some representative, you know, analytics that deal with this? So that's going to probably be, you know, a hiccup that they're going to run into, quote unquote. And how is it going to affect the viewing experience? Again, will the ad selection kind of be how the Twitch is usually set up, where you can put ads pre-roll on certain points or every certain time interval, or you can press it whatever and it'll count? Or how will it affect people, and especially for like people who are subscribers, people who are subs and avoid ads? Do they still have to see these ads for you to hit this quota? Will it affect them being able to, you know, like have an unfettered viewing experience, or will this affect them too? Will this drop, you know, ads into the middle of that so nobody has an ad-free viewing experience? What's going on with that? I think hopefully the likely option is subs won't get affected by this, but everybody else will. But then again, nobody's seeing the ad since subscribers are there. So it's a lot of different variables that could create a situation that isn't worthwhile for a lot of creators. That I just find it very wary. I understand that this is the utility in this is that it's more stable income than just, you know, the subs and, you know, the actual you know, just bits and stuff where Twitch takes percentages of anyways. So it's more stable, but the sense of you making all this output for certain things, and it might affect your viewing experience, and it might affect how much quality you put out in terms of all your streaming 40 hours a month. And then you got to do all this other stuff on top of that still to meet that quota. So it's like, it's a lot of unknowns that I think boil up to a situation that isn't really worth it for me. Unless I'm a certain size, unless I'm like, you know, I'm doing crazy ass numbers. I'm getting already 2,000 subs, and I'm like, okay, at that point, I'm already considering being a full-time creator. I might as well throw this into the mix and just kind of go for it, because I'm getting an extra 1,000 off top anyways for the stuff that I'm already doing. That is where it might be more beneficial for people who are kind of getting closer to that borderline of, okay, I'm getting a substantial amount of steady income from, you know, all these ventures. All this Twitch stuff is giving me decent money. I can add this on top, and I'm already not doing, you know, nothing too crazy. Maybe just stream a little bit more, continue with my output, and I'll be good. But for everybody else, which is a vast majority, this might be a little bit more dicey.
Yeah. Another thing too is like what you have to, like, a lot of people have to consider is like, and I think it's like, so running the ads wouldn't even, for me, if I was let's say I'm even just a part-time, like I make enough money to call this job part-time. Let's say like running the ads wouldn't be horrible if I get to choose when I run the ads. So for example, let's say I'm doing two hours a day. A perfect moment would be like, all right, guys, we're about to finish the first hour. We got 4 minutes until it's like 56 minutes into the stream. I'm gonna run my 2 ad breaks back to back. So like I'm gonna run for the first hour, the 4 minutes, and it's gonna start the new hour after the end of that ad break, and then we're gonna go for another ad break so I can get all 8 minutes out of the way for the whole stream session, and I do it like that. And I would just tell my community like, yo, just keep me tabbed up, keep me unmuted, just so you guys can help me support me, and this is the best way to do it or whatever. Like you could finagle the bagel so that it's not super interrupting on people's stuff, because I know there's times, especially all of my like K-Dot, Cozy Chris, all of my Apex streamers, yo, every single time a good part or a good fight is going on, I get hit with a dumbass ad, and I'm just out of the mix for like a nice 2 minutes when they're fighting the biggest fight of their life. And then I come back in and they're just like, that was amazing, that was crazy, you guys see that? And I'm just like, nope, no, I didn't see that, because I was too busy watching DoorDash deliver DoorDash pizzas into a scary game. Haha, funny the first time, I've seen it a million times. Like I understand it, and I don't knock the hustle, I don't hate it, because I know that if I didn't want to see it, I'll just sub. I have reasons why I don't sub, it's my own personal choice. But that is one of like that's one thing that I didn't like about ads. But if you're telling me that they can run the ads whenever they want, I think it would be a good idea. Because then even if you go to the bathroom, like if you're like, if I, like me, I go to the bathroom all the fucking time. I could be like, hey guys, I need a 4 minute break. So here's
Yeah.
a few ads real quick. I'm gonna be back, and we'll rock out some more. I think it's great. I think this is a good step for Twitch, as finicky and as funky and as not good as I feel like it's going to roll out as.
Yeah.
I think it's a step in the right direction. Like they got the good intentions, bro.
Yeah.
Like you guys got the good intentions of supporting your creators and giving them more
Yeah.
consistent
Reliable.
revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I won't most because that's a big fear for some people who make money off the stream is like, hey, I haven't really gotten a lot of subs from people in a while. Do I have to do a 24-hour subathon? I'm tired. I don't want to always. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to do that. I don't want to have to rely on these big
Dear
ass
Lord,
events or
no.
whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, so this is a different way of being like, hey, I know you guys don't have money. I don't have money. Just watch this shit at full volume, bro. And now we eat and we're good. You don't have to worry about me. I'll just run these ads. Y'all just watch it for me. Cause I'm pretty sure my community, I'm sure a lot of communities would be like, I don't care about watching ads. If anything, we could sit in the chat and roast the ads. Like we could sit there and make fun of the whole shit. Or I could be like, all right, y'all get y'all TikToks ready. I'm about to run the ads. Keep this shit up. We'll
Mm-hmm.
talk or do whatever somewhere else or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, there's ways around it. And I think it's a good idea, but it's just like, it's a good idea given to you by bad people. Like it's just
Yeah.
like I like this, but I don't trust y'all. So I don't know how to feel about it right now.
Mm-hmm. It's a toss up, man. Right now, it's a toss up, and I'm just feeling like
Mm-hmm.
it can go again either way. I'm just hoping that there's a little bit more favor in the percentages and splits depending on the channel. Of course, you got to be a certain standing to have it. And again, if you're not in that certain criteria to get a bigger paycheck, then whatever it is, what it is, you just got to get, you know what I'm saying, get your counts up. But
Mm-hmm.
I want the splits of time and the splits of actual incentive to be favorable to the creator. That's all I want. That and the selection criteria, I need it to be spread out very evenly. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see the usual round of people, you know what I'm saying, all over this, and then we don't see any black folk getting this, you know, getting access to this or whatever as it rolls out. I just want to see how this plays out step by step. I believe there are good intentions there, and it has a more reliable like level of income for creators, which is good. But the implementation is not always equivalent to the intention, and so that's what I want to see how it rolls out step by step. I'm keeping my ears open to it, interested, but we'll see how it plays out, man. Twitch, we're keeping an eye on you. We're keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's all I got on the notes for today, bro. That's a lot of topics that we just ran through, bro. But that's it. That's it. Anything else that we might have missed, Wen? Anything that you might want to cover?
No, I'm seeing a lot of love for Pokemon Arceus. Shout out to that
Facts.
game. I'm seeing a lot of like
Facts.
it's really interesting because like I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, like I've said before, but I'm really happy to see all the people who were hoping for this game are enjoying it. To all my fellow streamers, if you want to play the game, don't feel scared to not play it offline because like that's one thing that I had an issue with playing JRPGs is also it's like I don't want to play it offline because then my chat will miss out. Motherfucker's gonna show up anyway. If you play your game, enjoy your game, yo. Don't worry about the chat. Um,
Oh
other than
shoot.
that, like I can't really think of anything too crazy, you know. Save up your money for February. You got wives and game lives, you know. Like
Facts.
there's a lot of games coming out, and it's Valentine's Day, so
Welcome.
keep your money in the tuck. Don't buy food that you don't need, you know.
Facts.
Save up.
Welcome to fucking Armageddon, baby. Oh yeah, before I
Yeah.
left out, there was one little thing. It was a rumor. I didn't think it was substantial enough to be included in the news, but there was a rumor that Apple wanted to work on its own video game console, and it might already be working on a video game console. And I'm like, y'all might just be the Stadia, bro. Y'all might just be the Stadia, unless y'all got some crazy, you know, it's Apple, so they gonna have some crazy studios to make actual money on this stuff. But I don't know.
So my brother actually owns an Apple TV, and
Mm,
on the Apple TV you can connect Bluetooth controllers. So that includes PS4s, things like that.
mm,
So my brother actually, every time I go over to his house, he always wants to play me in 2K on the
mm.
Apple TV. Mind you, it plays worse than regular 2K, which is
Yep.
insane to say out loud.
I don't know how the
But
fuck you do that.
it, yeah, for him, who is a very when I put a very casual gamer,
Hmm.
like this is his shit. So he's like, "Yo, play me some 2K." I'm like, you know, I'll humor him, but like this wouldn't be this isn't too far out of their wheelhouse because of Apple
Mm.
Arcade. I just don't know if they necessarily will have the facilities
Hmm.
to have a full grown, because their PCs don't even have games on them. So like, and that's the only thing that I can really think of that would be like, hey, we have already built this. Let's just take this and make it a console. So it's
Facts.
like they might go into the streaming world, like they might go into
Mm.
Stadia, they might
Yeah,
go
like the
into like
Stadia route.
Lumia or whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't know. That wouldn't be a. I wouldn't like laugh at it too much, because thing about Apple is that they
They
kind of
got
know
yeah, they
they
got
know
shit, and
who
if they're
they're
gonna
selling.
yeah, if they're gonna go somewhere, they're gonna go somewhere with some force. So I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
like laugh them out the building like Stadia, because when they drop shit, Stadia, I'm like, what the fuck y'all even do for real? Apple
Yeah.
might come in and they might have like, yo, we've been working with like 8 studios already on some brand new first party IPs and shit, and it was like, all
Yeah.
right, bro, y'all got it, cool. Whoa, we didn't know you had it like that, you know. So I really think it could be something, but Apple just has to have a big fanfare. They got to roll it out like crazy, because if you don't come hard with, again, exclusive stuff and a
Yeah.
format that's actually palatable to people, like, again, the streaming thing might not be as fruitful. You know what I'm saying? A streaming console, because of the internet speeds that are still pretty disparate across, the world. So if you
Yeah.
come with something that's crazy, it might be accepted. We'll figure it out, man. But I think it's interesting. I'm not saying it's crazy, but it's a little bit crazy. It could sneak up on us in a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Hmm. But yeah, man, that's all I had on that. There was a couple other stories out there, but other ones was like, meh, whatever. Shout out to Shenmue, the anime that's arriving on February 5th. Shout out to Shenmue. It's gonna be on Adult Swim. Uh, and yeah,
True,
man,
true.
that's all I got for this episode, man. Episode 7, bro. Any final lasting thoughts before we get on out of here?
Drink water and stay safe.
Facts, factual. Oh man, if y'all don't, you know what I'm saying, follow everybody on the socials and all the channels that we're on, please change that about your life. You know what I'm saying? Something's missing. I know. It's somewhere deep down in your core, and it's that exact thing. You need to follow us on all socials, and I'm pretty sure all your problems will be solved. Don't ask me why I know that or how I know that or any evidence, but I think that's it though. So you need to follow No Cooldown on Twitter. You need to follow Otaku Channel and WenEazy on YouTube and Twitter, respectively. You need to follow ThatManTripp on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? It's content's dropping everywhere. Y'all need to stay tuned. All these games dropping, and we dropping content left, right, and center. Y'all need to get locked in before I get left behind. So please do all that. Drink your waters. Tell your peoples you love them. You know what I'm saying? We will catch you next time for episode 8 of No Cooldown. And yeah, man, without further ado, we are out.